Perfect. I will be playing Jade Fredrin. I'm a shade, an elf, rogue. I will be in Candlekeep trying to find a secret, a portal back into the Feywild for revenge on a certain fairy.
Was it Tink? Did Tink do anything?
I plead the fifth.
All right, let's go ahead and move over to Suwaki.
All right, I'm going to be playing Kate Lightfoot. He is a blade singer Haragon. He's in the Candlekeep. He's looking for a new spell. He likes to weave magic and melee, so he thinks there's a spell in here that will enhance his martial prowess.
Awesome. Let's see if he finds it. Let's go ahead and move over to Jake.
I will be playing Wes Belmont, a half-elf shadow magic sorcerer who is here for a good read. That's it. He just likes to get lost in a good book and forget about all the things around him. But if he can find something that would even enhance his knowledge on the shadow arts, all the better.
All right. And finally, we move over to a new member of the Banshee's Wail. Tonight we have Elliot joining us.
Thank you. So, I will be playing a druid mushroom man, and he will be in a dinge but a faint glow in the darkest corner of the room, an aura of dirt and ozone around. He has been there for quite some time and emerges after he hears some organisms moving around him, and he's just curious to see what it's all about.
He's a fun guy. Get it?
He is.
Get it?
All right, let's go ahead and move you.
I'm going to get you, Jake. I'm coming to get you.
So our adventurers have all their own... Everyone has their own individual reasons for coming to Candlekeep. And tonight, their second night in Candlekeep, or actually their first night in Candlekeep, they're everywhere else in Candlekeep because of how large the library is. All of the other inns within Candlekeep are filled to the brim. And our four adventurers are the four that find themselves stuck in the Firefly Cellar. It is one of the least popular wings of Candlekeep, and right now it's actually under renovation. So our four adventurers travel down to Firefly Cellar as they're told that their check-in time is about 8 p.m. So our travelers have all been fed, they've all eaten dinner, and they're getting ready to check into their rooms and explore the place a little bit. So as our four adventurers walk into Firefly Cellar, they're greeted by Varnir. Varnir is a sun elf scribe. She looks to be about middle-aged, and she politely greets our traveler. Hail, travelers. Welcome to the Firefly Cellar. I assume that you guys are here for a check-in to the inn?
Well, I am. I can't speak for the rest of these folk.
As am I.
Yeah. I need a room.
Will there be a complimentary breakfast?
We will have breakfast ready for you guys when you guys rise. It's about 9 a.m.
Will you have carrots?
I will have the chef whip up some, any preferred carrot dishes? Carrot puree, just really any preferences?
No, just carrots. Just carrots.
Any specific types of carrots?
No, just carrots will be fine.
All right, we will have plenty of carrots for you in the morning.
Thank you.
Will there be
Anything
room
left in the
service?
garbage, I would appreciate. Mostly moldy.
I'm sure we can. I'm sure we could find some things for you. I'll have the chefs prepare some garbage in the morning. We'll see what we can find for you. Any preference?
Want to eat up my chamber pot too?
No, I believe I have some family over there. I'm gonna let them have that tasty, energetic morsels that you've left for them.
Gross.
The etiquette of some people.
Well, here, our time is short, so let's go ahead and take a stroll down, and I will show you guys around the place on our way down.
Please.
So as you guys notice, as you guys start moving over to the eastern side of the room, you guys notice that you guys are in a circular room that contains curved dark wood bookcases packed with books of assorted shapes, sizes, and ages. Flowers in ceramic pots line the tops of the shelves, giving the area a sweet fragrance. Alcoves are spaced at regular intervals around the perimeter of the room. 4 of them contain polished bronze statues of bespectacled scholars, and 3 hold overstuffed chairs. In the center of the room, a brass railing surrounds an overlook that gives a view of the lower level of the barracks. So if you guys notice, there's like this pillar, right? There's kind of this open space to the north and south of that square in the middle of the room. That would be your overlook that you guys are looking down below. There's balcony railings on the edge of that, so you guys can't just fall into it. But hanging from the ceiling above the opening in the floor is an enormous stone sculpture of an open book that looks as though the cover is flapping to keep it aloft. A spiral staircase to the east leads down, as well as up to the trapdoor exit set in the ceiling. The occasional errant firefly flits about. And as you look around, unlike the rest of Candlekeep, on the walls, instead of fire, you notice jars of fireflies lighting the room dimly, almost as brightly as torchlight, but not quite. But it does light all corners. But in the middle, you guys do notice... Actually, I apologize. So that big square in the middle, right here, is actually the hole. It's like a giant square hole in the middle of the floor. And those little ticks around it are the railing.
I was going to say.
This right here is a book lift. It looks like a dumbwaiter. And right now it's sitting up with you guys on the first floor. Do you guys want to...
see if anything's in the book lift? Just from looking at it.
Because it doesn't... I don't believe it actually has... The rest of this is really good about that. I do know that the book lift is up, though. I cannot find it right now. Flowers. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right. In the book lift, you find two small children's dolls. One has a scythe with a handle made from a round paintbrush and a blade cut from paper. The other doll is missing its feet.
I don't like this. People like to take rabbits' feet for things. I feel like we're in the same kind of situation. Somebody go figure out what's going on over there. I don't want to.
I do hear they're good luck.
Varnir hurries you along before any of your concerns can really, really be addressed. Varnir rushes you out of the room. We need to get going. I feel like bedding down for the night.
Varnir, take us, please.
All right.
Would you like some company when you bed down?
As you guys journey, Varnir looks at you and says,
Lord, no.
Honey, you are far too young to please my palate. Although a good mushroom stew might make me feel better.
1,400 years old.
As you guys move down. Oh, well then you're far too old for me.
I do wither a bit.
As you guys move down, you guys notice a floor called the stacks. This is the one that you could see from up above. This is the one where all of the primary books are, right? So the musty smell of old books hangs in the air here. Concentric rings of bookcases dominate the space, with a heavy granite table occupying the room's center. The table would be a circle, but for 6 semicircle gaps cut into it around its edges, creating spaces for 6 chairs. Small stacks of books rest on the table, along with a candle holder that contains firefly-filled jars. The table weighs about 300 pounds, and 4 rolled-up indigo rugs rest underneath. In this room...
How big are the jars?
It doesn't really say, but I'd say like a normal mason jar size, so, think about as tall as your head.
What kind of mason jars do you have in your house?
Depends on what you're pickling.
I'm going to grab one. I'm going to grab a mason jar full of fireflies and just put it into my bag.
Varnir looks at you and says, please leave those. We tend the fireflies. Please do not remove any of the fireflies.
Okay.
I'll put
it back begrudgingly.
All right. And you notice at the center table is a middle-aged man, and just to the north, you see a little girl who looks to be about 8 years old.
They mostly come at night. Mostly.
Very energetic, and she's playing with her dolls, running around. No, these ones aren't creepy. And then you see the middle-aged man. He's roughly 40 years old. He's 33 years old. He is studiously bent over the table, studying.
Does you wear glasses?
Varnir takes you again and ushers you across, showing you, walking you guys through the stacks all the way to the other side. You notice that there are, as you cross through the room, you notice a door to the north and a door to the south. And then you guys are ushered down to the bottom level, and I'm going to move you guys one by one. Give me a second. Roll20 is really kind of bogged down.
If anybody's watching who is in charge of Roll20, we really appreciate you.
Wow, this thing is really laggy tonight. Right, and finally, let's move Varnir. Varnir, let's see, moves you through the bottom floor. It's cold here. A low barrel-vaulted ceiling crowds the already narrow passage. Light from a firefly lamp that hangs on a hook in the wall is inadequate to illuminate the entire space. So this one is a little bit more claustrophobic, but Varnir is going to move you guys in through kitchen area. We actually change dynamic lighting really quick. We can
I
move
do quite
these
like the atmosphere down here.
doors open.
Smells like home.
As you guys move
Sorry, I farted.
through into the space,
Nobody can smell it because of my spores.
stinky spores. All right, as you guys crowd
I can
in,
smell it.
you guys
I'm just being polite.
pass through the kitchen, and in the kitchen, you noticed a Kenku that was studiously cleaning. Kind of
What's a kangaroo?
dismisses you guys. It is.
Is a bird folk. Crow.
It is.
Like a crow humanoid.
A beaked heron.
They're quite annoying and loud.
Yes, and this one seems to dismiss you and look up and scoff as you as you guys walk through. In this
Shave
area,
that garbage for me.
No, please don't touch me, man. Don't touch me with your filth.
all
Hey,
right.
Kenku, you clean this place, right? So you know where everything is.
The Kenku ignores you. Varnir looks at you and says, "If you guys could please look this way." And she shows you this room right up here, just north of where Wes is so it's the top left room, is one room that you guys can share. Two of you can fit in that room. And then to the bottom right just below where Cade is, there's another room for the other two of you. So you guys will have to share rooms, but you guys can stay here tonight. Please do not enter any of the other rooms. During the day, you can ask them, and sure, you can see the other rooms if the inhabitants would let you. But please
You have
try
my
to stick
word
to
as
your
a
rooms.
pirate.
I'd feel most comfortable staying in the room with the other elf.
Well,
I will take the south room.
I appreciate the offer, but I enjoy my. Oh wait, which elf were you talking about?
Yes.
No, I'm quite fine. Thank you. I appreciate the offer though, but
Well,
I'd really
then
rather
the
not.
elf behind the mushroom men will have to do as a roommate tonight.
Very well.
Me and Mushroom Dude, I'm in.
And on that note, I will see you guys for breakfast, but I will return to my post. And you see Varnir walk
Have
away.
a good night.
Don't forget the carrots.
The etiquette of this place is sorely lacking.
You certainly
That's
are
not
a lovely
so
lot.
bad. I've seen worse.
Are you looking at my eye patch? There's a story. I won't show it yet.
So,
I didn't ask.
it's just after roughly 8 p.m., so it's a little bit early. If you guys would like to go to bed, you could. Or you guys could explore. The inhabitants
sleep tonight.
are here. The inhabitants are here if you guys would like to talk to the inhabitants. You guys could explore. What would you guys like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the first library space and go look for some books.
All right.
Are there
Let me move you to the
any other
stacks.
doors outside of the two rooms that she pointed to around us?
There are. So there are 7 rooms in total. So the 2 rooms, the northwest room, not the one that you guys saw the Kenku in, but in this area,
Mushroom Man is gone.
All right. So let me move this light really
This
quick.
hallway looks like a finger.
Your hallway looks like a
Pointing
finger.
to something.
All right. Now you guys should be able to see.
It's not
And now you guys have
much
2
of a-
rooms that are open to you. Those 2 rooms are the rooms that you guys can stay in. This one in the northwest, right here in the southeast. You guys can see
and Mushroom
into
Man
a
got
child's
southeast.
room that is the northernmost room. Here, let me go ahead and move you.
Whoa.
All right, so Tiberius, you are in one of the 2 rooms that you can go in.
I am scoping it out.
Jad, you can see into a child's room. You see that the bed is
Describe that
unmade
looking.
and that toys are scattered, and piles of clothes obscure all but a few bare patches of the floorboards. Above a writing desk in the corner dangles a dragon marionette made from brass and wood, with wings of canvas dyed red. A round firefly lamp hangs in the opposite corner.
Oh, I've slept in worse.
You notice that is
What?
a child's room and probably belongs to the child that you saw on the second floor, up in the
Oh,
stacks.
I thought that was the room that she pointed at.
No, the room just to the west of that.
Oh, I can't see in that room. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh. Yeah, I removed the dynamic
go. Now I
lighting,
can
so there you go.
This one. Got it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about you, brethren, but I'm going to go back up to the library.
All right. Let me move Jacques.
I shall follow.
At
I
a
will
pace, please.
All right, Tiberius, I will grab you and move you. What would Wes like to do?
I'm gonna sleep.
Would you like the northwest or the southeast room?
Do the southeast room.
You took the bigger room. Nice.
Yes. Wes knows it.
All right. Are you going to be bedding down for the night, Wes?
I'm gonna sleep.
Okay. All right. So Wes goes to bed, and we move to Jad, Cade, and Tiberius in the stacks.
Are there any books that look unusual?
No, you see lots and lots of volumes, but nothing really stands out here.
Is there any kind of like organization system? Like, are there sections that are marked out, or
They are magically marked.
can I decipher the markings?
Yes, it's just a normal library. So you can, so these are all reference texts. The only thing that they're asking is that you don't remove any of the books. And as you guys are there in the stacks, Varnier actually steps back down, is going to pop in and say, oh, forgot to mention, if you guys notice that all of the sconces on the wall are filled with fireflies, fire does not actually work. Fire is completely suppressed in this wing of the library. So please note that no casting any spells of fire will work here. Please do not remove any volumes, but you can look at any volume that you wish that is here in the keep, that is here within this section of the library. Please just do not remove it from this section. You notice that she starts...
you recommend?
You notice... Well, what are you looking for? Anything in particular?
Just a good night's read.
I highly recommend the writings of Plato Ganado. He's a local gnome, and he writes many, many volumes about philosophy and adventures.
That sounds like a fake name.
If you're looking for an adventure story, the adventures that R.A. Salvat writes are great.
Plato Ganado.
You notice that when Varnier is speaking about the books, she speaks about them with a reverence. They are her passion. She looks at you and says, and with that, I bid you adieu, and I will return to my post. Please keep in mind that the hour is late, so please don't bother the other guests too much.
Jad nods.
And Varnier makes her
As she
exit.
walks away, I walk over to the middle-aged gentleman and say, can you point me toward the section of information over the Fae?
You notice that Ebder is not paying attention to you. He sort of nudges his head and goes, there's books that way. And he goes back to what he was doing. You look closer and he looks to be studying the text very, very intently. He brushes you off as you seem a nuisance to him.
Your social etiquette is lacking, friend.
I bend down to the little girl and ask her, where will you sleep tonight, little girl?
Hi, I'm gonna sleep in my room. That's kind of a weird question.
Indeed. It was not ill intent.
But yeah, I'll be sleeping in my room tonight.
Have you been here long?
My dad over there, we've been here for a couple of years. We live at the library. My dad works with the books.
What's your favorite book?
I like to make up my own stories. I sometimes see things in my dreams and I draw them on pictures. Maybe I can show you tomorrow.
I would like that, thank you.
And she goes back to playing, as you see her just randomly skipping around.
I'm gonna look over the dude's shoulder and see what he's reading.
You notice that it's just a reference textbook.
Okay. I'm just gonna start perusing the shelves, looking for spell books or adventure books.
You'll find many, many volumes. Spell books, adventure books. There are hundreds, if there are thousands of books in the stacks on this floor, and you guys just find so many books. There's so much to go through. But you could basically, you notice with the book collection that they have here within this section of the library, you could study for the rest of your lives and maybe make a dent.
Are there any open books on the table that are not being read?
Let me see. You notice that Ebder is surrounded by books, and you notice there are books spread out across the rest of the table. They're all closed. Some of them open. Well, some of them are closed. Some of them are open. But it's just random reference books. You don't see any importance to any of the books on the table, and you can't see any reasons as to why anybody would have used them.
I see. Well, what's next?
As I move through the section of books, I'm looking for anything particular in the Feywild. But do I notice anything that seems to have recently been moved?
You notice that a lot of the books have been moved around, nothing specifically, but you still do notice that there is a room to the north and a room to the south that you have not explored.
Not quite what I need here. Maybe I'll peruse the rest of the library.
Wait, let me go first.
All right.
Mushroom folk enters the south.
Well, I guess I'll be going the
Let
opposite way
me
than that
go
guy.
ahead and here. Let me check 1 second.
This room is shaped like Spider-Man's eye.
All right, let's go ahead and discuss the room to the south first that Tiberius is exploring. You notice leather bits, wood shavings, and paper scraps litter the floor near a large workbench. Tools and contraptions are organized neatly around a handful of books in different states of disrepair. Stools surround the bench, one of which has a leather apron draped over it. You are standing in the bindery.
I search the apron.
See,
Do I?
you just find tools that are related to restoring books,
I
but you don't
see.
find anything of any significance. You just find very used normal tools.
I press on the walls. Anything?
There, you do not discover anything by pressing on the walls, but you do notice that there is a large workbench along the southern portion of the room.
What is on the workbench?
All right, so you investigate the workbench. You notice that the person that works here, you're assuming is Varnier, based on her work on display on the bench, that she loves the task. The tools that you found are used for bookbinding, leatherworking, wood carving, and painting. A ledger rests on one of the stools. It's open to a list of 4 book titles, each one with a repairs needed entry beside it. The titles and their associated repairs are as follows. Festivals and Festivities of Ancient Cormyr, replace cover. Living a Dream, 3 Years Among Stone Giants, replace cover. Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme, repair spine. Halfling Superstitions, rebind. Go ahead and roll me a perception or investigation check, whichever's stronger for your character.
I'm not sure, Ryan. It's giving me a second to load.
Oh yeah, roll 20 is this is rough.
There we go. It just made it all ugly. There we go. Okay. We are gonna go with. I got 4 insight.
So perception and investigation. Let's see. Perception, you would have a +6. Investigation is a +2. So I would run with perception.
We're gonna roll with perception.
All right, let's see what you got. 15. All right, cool. All right, with a 15, you notice that the books on the workbench are 3 of the books on the list. Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme is missing. You continue to investigate the bindery, but that's everything that the bindery has. You notice that the remainder of the room is very just normal. Just looks like a workroom.
I am done investigating.
All right. And then Jod, did you want to move over to investigating the northern room? You're muted, Jod.
Yes, as the Mushroom Man was moving to the south, I decided to go the opposite way. Investigate the room to the north.
Go ahead and step into the room for me. You notice all around, fireflies float lazily about like embers caught in the air. 3 writing desks sit against the northern wall, with a sheepskin rug beneath each one. On one of the desks rests a book beside a stack of paper, along with a stoppered ink jar and a porcupine quill pen. Another desk has a leather case on it. A moldering tapestry hangs. You notice that the tapestry is sort of wavering a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Off-center on the west wall. To the southeast is a wood-paneled wall with a closed door set into it. A weak yellow glow emanates from under this door.
Just out of curiosity, I'm going to go up to the desk and look at you said there was a book on the first desk. What is the book?
You notice that, let me take a look. All right, so you investigate the book. The book on the desk has a bookmark poking out from its pages. It's an ancient tome. Its title worn away over time. Its pages fall out if it's opened. You notice that the pages are just super loose. Like you don't want to mess with it too much. This book is currently it just looks like it's gonna totally fall apart. And you notice on one of the other desks is a leather case that contains a set of calligrapher's supplies. You do some more investigating, and you notice that this must be where the middle-aged man works, the 33-year-old man that you notice studiously studying in the next room. And this is where all of the books that you see in this area seem to be almost unrepairable.
Just off of carefully moving the cover of the book, and I see what the first page says without throwing it all over the place.
You notice that it's just an ancient text. You're not able to read the text itself, but It doesn't seem to be of any importance. Like the books, it just seems to be falling apart. This one, again, like I said, the title has completely worn away, and the inner pages just seem to be an ancient text.
Just wanted to see if it was what I was looking for, but it's not. And
what are you looking
for? Can I
for?
investigate a book on the Fae? And the cover, the leather hanging on the wall.
The tapestry.
Tapestry. Can I look at that and see if there's anything of importance with it?
You can. Here, let me find a visual aid. I cannot find this handout. Rude. All right. So you search behind the tapestry and you notice scratched into the stone wall are the lyrics of a rhyme.
What does it say?
Let me find it. Wow, they do not have this rhyme actually in here. 1 second.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Yeah, right.
I wonder what you are.
Grab a new tab. Let me open this up.
Hard to sneak around in.
Oh man, I cannot.
Just on the wall.
All right, here we go.
Freddy's coming for you.
Here we go. See a mother scything wheat, forgotten husband sleeping near. With one swing she took his feet, with another she took his ear. Does the shadow have a name? Shemshime. Causes grief, avoids the blame. Shemshime. See a dog that knows how to heal, never heeds plea nor command. Mother gave it a tasty meal. Dog chose instead to eat her hand. Does the shadow have a name? Shemshime. Causes grief and avoids the blame. Shemshime. See a son doing his chores, washing clothes for folk in town. Fell into the river's roar, sank to the bottom and drowned. Does the shadow have a name? Shemshime. Causes grief, avoids the blame. Shemshime. You also notice that the person that had carved it in had begun to carve something below it. Did not. You can see the start of a letter, and that's it.
By chance, is there a way that you could... Jad finds this rhyme curious in its reference and grabs a piece of paper and begins to write it down.
All right, you write it down. I'll post it in the... I'll post it in the chat after this.
And then, just curious about the light, I move over and open the door.
You cannot open the door. You notice that the door is locked.
All right.
And in walks Ebder. He looks at you and says, "Excuse me, can I help you? This is my workshop."
Oh, I apologize. I didn't know it was a private chamber.
It's not so much that it's private, it's that the work that I do in this area cannot be disturbed. Please, is there anything that I can help you with? I see that you're looking at the door over there.
Yes, I was just curious as to what was behind it. I can see a light emanating.
Yeah, that's Crinkle, that weirdo that you guys saw, the weirdo, that weirdo Kenku that you guys saw downstairs that's kind of grumpy. That's her room, so I'd really probably just leave that alone.
The beach chef.
Do you know what's causing the light?
I think that's where she takes care of the fireflies that you guys see on this floor. She keeps all of the other fireflies in here. She breeds them. It's super weird, but it keeps the lights on, right? And he chuckles to himself.
Yes, quite. Now, other thing you could help me with. Do you know of a reference to a Shemshime?
Yeah, I was working. We were working on a book called Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme. It's a pop-up book, but I can't seem to remember where it is right now, offhand. Why do you ask?
I was perusing and saw part of its rhyme carved into the wall. And generally, when somebody
Wait,
is...
what carving?
Jad moves over and moves the tapestry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was here. I don't. Yeah, this is yeah. Whenever we were working on the book, we got it to play, and it's kind of like a music box. And it played these lyrics. So that's really weird that they're scratched into the wall, but they look quite old. They've been here before me. I don't know much about them, but that is seriously creepy. Maybe we should ask
Indeed.
Varnier in the morning.
Bring it up to her. Thank you for your assistance, Ebder.
But if you'll kindly leave my workshop, I'm getting ready to lock it up so that I can go to bed.
Oh, yes, I was just leaving. Thank you again for your assistance.
As you see him mumbling under his breath as he locks the door and moves back to his spot at the desk. You see him look up and see Gilby playing, and he smiles and then goes back to his work.
I motioned for you to come to the back of the room, at the south end. I whisper under my breath, what did you find?
I follow the mushroom man, but stand somewhat at a distance. Nothing too mysterious, though one thing that's bewildered me, something about a Shemshime Bedtime Rhyme.
Shemshime, you say?
Yes.
Well, I found Shemshime. It's just here in the south room.
You found the book?
I have the book. I take the book from the south. I bring it back out and show him. Here is Shemshime.
Wasn't Shemshime the book that was missing down there?
It is.
It was the one that was missing in the list. We couldn't find it downstairs?
Yeah, the book, you couldn't find it. There were only 3 of the 4 books. You could find it it was on the registry, but it's not in the room. It's missing.
It's not in the room. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Okay. So I explained to him that there's a list in Shemshime. Shemshime is on the list, but it's not in the room.
And I look at the list. It said the book needed its spine repaired?
Yes.
It did.
I wonder who's working on it.
The other ones are Living Dream Dryads, Festivities of Ancient Cornier, and Halfling Superstitions. I don't see any connection.
The book on Dryads. And where is that book? The Festival of the Dryads?
It's here on the workbench, on the south side.
Can I quickly
You guys
peruse through
found any
that book?
books with spells in them yet?
It wasn't something I was looking for, Cade.
I can't find anything good right now. What are you guys doing?
Nothing?
Looking into a mysterious bedtime rhyme.
Are you staring at my patch?
Well, yeah, it's like right there.
All right. As you guys are discussing, you notice Varnier enters the room. She looks at you and says, "Oh, you guys have found my bindery. Well, welcome to my passion. I am responsible for the restorations of Firefly Cellar, and I've been working on restoring a lot of the books. So this is my bookbinding room where I do a lot of work on the books. But regardless, I'm going to be heading to bed and just wanting to let you guys know this is usually the time when we're all done for the day and headed to bed. You guys can feel free to stay up, but I'm going to be turning in, so please don't knock on my door until the morning unless it's an emergency."
Before you go, by chance, you were working on repairing a book, Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme. Can you point me toward it?
Oh, that thing? I haven't actually been able to find it for a couple of weeks now. It disappeared off of my workbench. Just one night, I haven't been able to find it. I've been looking for it ever since, but if you guys come across it, please let me know.
By chance, do you have any information on the contents of the book?
Yeah, it's like a pop-up book with pictures. And when you open it, it begins playing a song.
Well, can you recall the song?
You hear the notes.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna...
She can't quite recall it right now. Offhand, she can't quite recall the song. She can't. She's finding it very strange that she cannot remember it right now. She can't remember the tune.
'Tis late. Maybe in the morning.
And with
I
that,
wish you a good night.
have a good night. See you guys in the morning. And Varnier leaves. Go ahead and move Varnier to her room. Jad, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Tiberius, roll me a perception check.
What?
Nice.
Look at that.
With a nat 20, you look up, and as you're gazing up, as you're walking through the room, you notice the flying book sculpture. With a nat 20, you notice that the stonework is about 12 feet across and weighs somewhere upwards of probably a ton, because of the stonework that's built into it. Anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 pounds. You're amazed at the architecture, and you look up and you notice that as the book is, because the way that it sits, you see 3 chains running up to the book. So you see the 3 chains suspending it in the air. You also notice that etched into the cover are the words "Be Curious," as it's right above. It sits kind of in between floor 1 and floor 2. You notice it's kind of suspended between the 2 floors. You can still see up to the first floor, where you can see where the chains are leading off to the walls in 3 different directions towards, it looks like, the southward side of it.
And I'm looking directly up at the book's cover.
And that's it for that sculpture.
Why are you looking up, Tiberius?
Got something in my good eye. You see that up there?
What'd you see?
There's a statue, and it has a book inscribed "Be Curious," with 3 chains going in every direction to hold this massive stonework.
Hmm.
Do you think there's a powerful spell in that book?
I think that we might be able to get a better perspective if we go up top and look down upon it.
I was thinking the same thing.
All right. Let's go ahead
I'll
and
follow.
move you guys up to floor 1. I'm going to set you guys right here. As you guys notice, as you guys move back up to the first floor of the Firefly Cellar, you notice the chains are anchored in the walls. You see 1, 2, 3. The direct south, the southwest, and the southeast, those stars that you guys see are the 3 anchors for the chain. They loop up, all 3 of them go to a ring that is holding the statue suspended between the 2 floors. You notice that you could, if you needed to, it is low enough to where you could jump out onto it because it's sort of suspended between the 2 floors. But you also notice that those 3 chains do not look to be magically enchanted. They're just normal chains.
Well, looking down at the book, since it was it laid open or just like when we looked at its cover, was it like was the book laying open?
The book is open with its, so you can see the pages from underneath. It's sort of rotated a little bit, so I mean, you guys could move around and see just that the pages are all blank. It's just a statue of, the script inside of it is sort of nonsensical.
Nonsensical.
It doesn't make any sense.
But there
it's
are
just kind of
characters.
a sign of the place that you guys are in within Candlekeep, and it seems to be somebody's dry sense of humor, but it's of no importance. The title of the book again says "Be Curious."
Like a cut.
And Jake, your camera's sideways for some reason. Super weird looking at you like that. Try flip it. Yeah, there you go.
You're also muted.
I was muted. Okay, better. You guys look better too. You guys were turned vertically too.
As you guys notice, it's getting very, very late. A couple hours have gone by. It's about 11 o'clock at night now. You guys have noticed the lights are a little bit dim as the fireflies are sort of tired, but all of the other individuals within, you don't see any other NPCs on the first or second floor as they seem to have gone to bed. As you saw Ebder rise from his studies and Galeby went skipping away as he went and took her to bed. You notice that you guys have done a lot of exploring up to this point, and you guys have explored just about everything that's available to you tonight. It's getting a little bit late. All 3 of you seem to be extremely exhausted from your journey to Candlekeep, as this is still your first night. So you guys are still weary from travel, and you guys are excited to the investigations ahead of you.
I guess I'll retire. Spores are getting thin.
All right.
I'm not interested in what you mean by that, but I agree. I will retire to my room.
I'm going to grab a book and then go to the room.
Sounds good. All right. I will move you guys to your individual rooms. Kate, did you want the southeast or the northwest?
Jad was taking the southeast.
Okay. So that puts Cade and Tiberius in a room. You got the rabbit. So you have the vegetarian who loves eating
Carrots.
Yep. who, if he's hungry, might get a penchant for, shrooms.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms!
Something tells me something's afoot in the morning and we're going to get separated. I like to use words with S.
Separated. Swing my
Separated.
sword.
I'm very happy that we're looking for Shemshime.
As you guys all drift off to bed, you hear a tune begin to play in your heads. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Can I hear this too?
All of you can. It's been playing in your head, Wes, as you've been sleeping.
Damn.
You heard it as you drifted off.
Damn.
All of you begin to hear it, and all of you drift off into sleep, having very strange dreams.
Strange.
Anything
And-
in particular?
We will go ahead and end it there for tonight. Welcome back to the Banshee's Wail Tavern, everyone. We have our adventurers, which we left in the Firefly Cellar, sleep as they started to hear humming in all of their heads as they drifted off to sleep. They investigated Firefly Cellar. They found quite a few items of note, and they have interacted very briefly with the inhabitants of Firefly Cellar. So, after a long night's rest, our players awaken in their rooms. And we have our characters who awaken in their rooms and slowly make their way back to the stacks.
Are we moving back
I
upstairs
am-
or starting in the rooms?
I'm
We're
moving you guys
downstairs and,
back into the stacks.
Yeah, we're downstairs about the table right now, underneath the giant statue.
So if you remember last time, as you guys were drifting off to sleep, you heard humming as if it was a tune. Mm-hmm. 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 As you guys drifted off to sleep. As you guys awaken, each of you individually are hearing this tune in your head. It's still going on, and you guys notice that Ebder is humming it off and on. He's bent over his desk, studying, doing his work, and I will open it up to you guys.
And these, did we fall asleep with really bad nightmares on top of the
No.
listening? Oh, okay.
No nightmares.
I thought we did.
You guys just heard that. While you guys were dreaming, you couldn't escape it. It was while you were sleeping, as you were drifting off, and now that you're awake, you're still hearing it in your head a little bit. And like I said, you see Ebder bent over at the desk. He's hunched over the desk and he's working. You see Galeby running in between the stacks and playing. Cthulhu has moved in as well. You guys haven't interacted with Cthulhu all that much, but she is a tabaxi. Let me pull up her description. She looks to be about 30 years old, and she's a leopard-spotted tabaxi. And she's sitting at the desk in the next spot next to Ebder. She notices you come in, and she greets you. So she's very animated as she greets you, and she's all over the place. Her hands, she's super excited. She seems super intense. She's very friendly. She's very gregarious. And she greets you and says, "Hail, adventurers! Welcome. So you guys are here at Candlekeep doing research as well?"
Some of
Research,
us.
yes.
Yes.
Indeed. I've been here for quite some time.
I'm trying to find very powerful spells.
I've been catching up on my rest.
She looks over at Cade and says, "Powerful spells, you say? What sort of spells are you looking for?"
I need the most powerful damage spells I can find. I must achieve greatness in weaving magic and sword.
Well, my fair adventurer, you don't always need something that does the most damage when a well-placed mage hand could do just as much to an enemy in the right hands.
I know Mage Hand. That's not the spell I'm looking for.
Well, I wish you luck in all of your travels. And so she starts ranting for about 5 minutes about all of the research that she's done so far, everything that she's found here at Candlekeep, and just she's very, very excited about the knowledge that she can attain. And as you notice, she starts kind of in between. Every now and again, she starts sort of humming it too, but she's not noticing it. But she keeps on talking.
What is going on with this tune that you are all reciting?
Cthulhu looks at
Seems
you and says,
inescapable.
What tune are you talking about?"
One that everyone's humming.
Yeah, start humming the tune.
Huh. Ebder looks at you and says, "I know. I've been hearing that tune. It's super annoying. Please stop humming that tune while I work. And then he starts humming.
You were just don't realize that you were doing it.
You were just doing it as well, Ebder.
Hold on 1 second. All right. So Ebder is going to lean over and ask you all to be quiet while he works. You notice as you guys kind of wander around the stacks and you guys start looking around and interacting and quietly interacting with the other NPCs, you look over at Ebder and you notice that he starts humming it. He's not aware of it. And then moments later, you hear something off in the distance slam shut. As you notice,
which direction?
It's off to the stairs to the eastern part of the room. You hear it, but it's also above you because of that hole in the floor. So it's above you because you have that hole in the floor where you guys can see up to that statue, that book statue. So you hear it slam shut. And then you guys notice Varnir starts walking down the stairs. As you notice more and more of the Avowed around you, including Galeby, who's, like I said, running between the bookshelves, and Cthulhu is now humming it. You notice that Varnir is walking down the stairs. She approaches you. She calls everyone towards the desk, except for Crinkle. Crinkle's still in the kitchen. And she tells you, when I first arrived at Candlekeep, the Avowed were concerned about a singing madness. A book merchant had been afflicted with it and was put in isolation after several Avowed began singing the song as well. She pauses and she frowns and says, I don't know what happened to him or the others. That was about 600 years ago. She gathers her composure and adds, I've alerted the Avowed and sealed the exit to stop whatever this is from spreading. Cthulhu looks at her and says, I don't want to be here anymore. Why are we trapped here? I don't want to be trapped. I didn't sign up to be trapped in a library surrounded by strangers. Ebder kind of grunts at her. He's annoyed more than anything else.
Jad will put his hand on Cthulhu's shoulder and say, it'll be fine, we'll figure this out.
And you see Galeby disappears. She runs down the western stairs, actually, and disappears off to the kitchen.
Tiberius follows in suit because he wants to ask for us.
Varnir looks at all of you and says that no one can leave until we figure out what this is and put a stop to it.
At the table, I guess. It's a round table. I'm familiar. Can't be much trouble.
Varnir, you said it's a singing madness, correct?
Yes, I did.
Could it be tied to the book that has gone missing, the rhyme, Shemshime's rhyme?
She looks at you and says, I don't want to speculate. I prefer to rely on reason. But hopefully you can make sense of it somewhere in all of this. And she pans around and waves her hand to the books in the stacks.
There's so many books here. How are we supposed to find it in all of this?
Try talking to the other Avowed, see if they know anything.
Cthulhu, why do you feel like you're trapped here?
Cthulhu looks over at you and says, it's just in my nature to be anxious. I don't like to be trapped. Us Tabaxi like to be under the open sky, and right now I'm researching and everything, so I'm content in a library. However, I do not like locked doors.
How long have you all been trapped here?
You heard the door shut just moments ago.
Just now, Wes.
So we're all trapped.
She reminds you that Varnir, as Varnir came down the stairs, told you that she had closed and locked the hatch up above to stop this madness from escaping the Firefly Cellar and reaching the rest of Candlekeep.
This madness.
And she has informed the other Avowed of the events.
Varnir, who else is in this vicinity besides us?
Well, you've met all the residents. I mean, there's we have Ebder, Crinkle, Galeby, the child, and Cthulhu, and myself, of course, and then you adventurers.
May I be dismissed to go ask Crinkle some questions?
Yeah, feel free.
I would like to roll a perception check. I would like to. I feel like there's somebody else here that we're not seeing. I want to see if there's anybody else.
Go ahead and roll a perception check. With a 12, you sense that there is magic all around you, within the books, within multiple items within the library itself, to include the fireflies on the wall. But you do not notice any other people.
Jad will begin moving his way to go find Crinkle.
You know, I'll
Alright.
follow him, hopping along behind him.
All right, I will take you both and move you down to speak with Crinkle and Galeby, both in the kitchen. As you enter the kitchen, you notice that Crinkle is preparing breakfast for everyone, and she's whistling the melody Absent Minded.
Hello, Crinkle.
She turns around and makes a sound at you, as you know that she's a Kenku. She makes a sound like nails on a chalkboard and waves her hand at you, telling like she's annoyed with you, like you're pestering her.
I will only be a moment. I just have a few questions to ask you, and then I'll be gone. Is that okay?
She just shrugs at you and makes a sound sort of like a really low siren, and just kind of shrugs you off and doesn't want anything to do with you, almost as if she's ignoring you and hoping that you leave.
Oh, I'll ask my question anyway. Toward Crinkle and Galeby, of course, able to hear it. Have either of you seen a book called Shemshime's Rhyme? Seems to have gone missing.
Galeby looks over at you and says, I don't think you're going to get much out of Crinkle. She doesn't really talk. We just play games, but that's how she communicates.
Get on a knee so you can communicate with Crinkle?
As much as anyone can, I guess.
Do you think you'd be able to find out if she's seen a book that has gone missing for me?
Maybe she'd like to play a game.
Yes, maybe hide and seek to find this book, per se.
Gaby looks at you and says, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, you're in a library full of books, but I don't remember seeing any called Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme or anything like that.
It might not have it on the label, but I know it's a book with a damaged spine.
Have you tried the room where my dad fixes books?
Yes, I looked there, but I think you know much more about this library than I do. Do you think you could help me find it?
I'll keep my eye out, but I feel I just want to go in color right now. Is that okay?
Perfectly fine. If you see it, please let me know.
She says, okay, as you hear her humming, doo-dum, 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 doo-dum.
Real quick, before you go, where did you learn that song?
She just ignores you as she hops towards her room. And you remember, here, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Do you just want Cade rolling that?
Here, I can do it for Cade. Or can I? All right, let's see what happens.
On the app.
Okay, I see it right there. 17. With a 17, you remember that Galeby likes to draw pictures, and she had mentioned it. And she had mentioned something about showing you the pictures in her room.
Galeby, can I see those pictures that you were going to show us?
She's in her room, can't hear you.
Oh, I'll go to her room and knock on the door.
Cade, I'll go back up to the library. Could you follow Galeby and see if she may know anything further?
Yeah, easy enough.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll move on to Galby's room.
And I wave at Crinkle and say, my apologies for bothering you.
She just ignores you.
That's fine.
You can tell that she is very focused on her cooking. And she doesn't seem to be annoyed as if she's hiding anything. She just seems to be busy and doesn't want to be bothered.
Yes, and thank you for the future delicious food.
She's still
Jad
ignoring
will
you.
Begin. That's fine. I'm just saying it to say it.
But you
Pleasure,
notice
Jesus.
that as you said thank you, you notice that her body language kind of relaxes a bit. She's not as annoyed now.
Jad will go back up to the library.
All right, I'll move you back up there.
I'll let Cade follow up with Galeby.
All right, and I will move Cade over to Galby's room to knock on the door. As you knock on the door, Galeby answers the door, and she says, "Oh, are you here to see my pictures?"
Yeah, you told us about them last night, so I wanted to come check them out.
So you notice that, here, go ahead and roll me a perception check. All right, with a 5, you notice that as Galeby brings over a stack of pictures, she left some on her table. She didn't bring over all of the pictures. And she's showing you the pictures that she draws. They depict normal 8-9-year-old drawings, like lions, things like that, mythical creatures, roughly drawn within the D&D universe. And as you notice it, you look over and something catches your eye over on the table about the pictures.
I'm gonna quickly look through these ones and then ask her, can I go look at the ones that you left over there on the table? These ones are really good, but I want to see those ones too.
Galeby starts to get very, very nervous, as if she feels like she's about to get in trouble, and she looks at you and she says, "Well, is there a reason?"
Well, these ones are so good. I wanted to see those ones too. You don't have to be scared. I'll keep a secret.
Oh, okay. Just don't tell my dad. And as you walk over to the table, you notice that Gilby's been drawing creepy pictures that depict different scenes. They're done in loud colored paint and in a style typical of a child, making them all the more unsettling. One of the images shows a man whose feet have been severed. Blood pours from his ankles and from the severed feet next to him. Another shows a boy underwater grasping at his throat. The last one shows a dog with a severed hand in its mouth. A black cloud hovers over each scene. And as you remember, some of these pictures start to describe different things that you had seen in the actual... They're starting to depict certain verses of the rhyme that you had been told about earlier, hiding behind the tapestry that was carved into the wall.
These pictures are very, very well done. Where'd you get the inspiration for these?
Just as you begin to ask that question, you hear a shrill sound tears through the Firefly Cellar, overpowering all other noise. Though it rapidly rises to an uncanny pitch, you recognize Ebder's voice. We go back to our characters in the stacks as everyone rushes over to the table to look at Ebder, who's screaming. You notice that Ebder's eyes are bulging in terror. As he hums the rhyme's melody, the rest of his body is paralyzed. He's cold to the touch. He continues to sing the rhyme over and over again for 5 minutes. You notice that Galeby sprints into the room to try to help her father. She's terrified by his behavior. Behind her comes Crinkle, who's trying to console the child with little effect. So you see Crinkle take Galeby, start to walk her comfortingly, like with her hands on her shoulders, petting her hair, trying to calm her down, kind of walks her behind a bookshelf and is trying to calm her down as she's like terrified of what she just saw of her father.
Jad will walk up behind Ebder and grab a hold of him and try and...
Break him out of it.
Yes. Shake him on his shoulders and saying his name to him.
There's no effect. He doesn't even notice that you're there. He's still paralyzed with fear.
Move around him and go to the desk and see what he was working on, the books, if there's anything that may indicate what's going on from the readings.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. You investigate the table immediately in front of Ebder, and you don't find anything out of the ordinary. You look through all of the things that Ebder's been working on. You notice that it's the same book that Ebder was looking at last night. It's just a history of Faerun. Nothing out of the ordinary about any of the books in front of him. You don't sense any magical presence. You don't sense anything from the books in front of him.
I look over at Ebder and say, "Who is Shemshime?"
You notice he's still just humming, and he doesn't even acknowledge your presence.
I look over at Varnier. What's going on?
Varnier looks at you, and she is shocked. She can't explain any of it. She looks at you and says, "I have no idea."
Can anyone cast anything to dispel a curse or magic?
I'm looking.
I cannot.
Not until he dies.
That's not helpful at the moment, though.
After 5 minutes of Ebder humming this tune, you notice that he stops.
Oh, are you feeling better?
As you notice that the lights start flickering in all of the Firefly Cellar. A couple of seconds at a time. They just start going in and out.
Well, this is disturbing. Varnier, has anything
Jad,
like this happened before?
Go ahead and roll me a charisma check. Or I'm sorry, a concentration check.
Oh, wait. Oh, Constitution?
Constitution, yeah. With a 7, you start humming the tune. No words come out except for the tune.
Do I notice that I'm doing this?
You do. You can't stop it.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand and start poking Jod. Snap out of it.
Wes,
You too.
go ahead and roll me a Constitution check.
Proficient.
You are not
You
humming
rolled
the
a
tune.
5.
He did roll a 5.
3 5s back to back.
Tiberius, go ahead and roll me a Constitution check. Or a Constitution saving throw. Is it not rolling it?
Wait, I'm sorry. But you're asking me?
Yeah, Tiberius, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good to go.
I'm literally reading like a ton of spells. I'm doing Constitution.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
With a 19, you were good to go. Cade, you notice the commotion up above, and the screaming brought you into the stacks. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution check as well. There we go. A 5. Cade, you start humming the tune as well, as you all notice that the library got much colder.
Be on guard, Tiberius. I don't like this.
Yes, I'm on guard. Curiously looking through my books.
You all notice you hear some singing from somewhere within. It's off to the north. Jod, go ahead and roll me a perception check. All right, with a 14, you notice that this muffled singing is coming from the doorway to the north.
To run away or to run towards?
I quickly run towards it. And I recall the shut door with the fireflies.
I follow.
I try and kick the door open.
I hope you're right about this.
Well, it's on our lives if I'm not.
If you die, I'll bring you back as a weasel.
I've already died once.
A weasel.
The second time shouldn't be that bad.
All right, go ahead and roll me an attack roll towards the lock.
An attack roll towards the lock.
Like just with a weapon, or?
Yeah, sure.
He uses a rapier.
With a rapier, your sword bounces off of the lock.
Let me try. Out of the way.
With a
Yes.
with a 12 to attack, it bounces off of the lock,
Okay.
I should say.
I
Have another.
am going to hold on.
But you do notice that the muffled singing is coming from behind the door.
Okay. I've got this here. I'm casting Shillelagh on my.
Okay.
I think I have a club, so I'll just put that in. Okay, and then I attack the door lock. I don't know if I'm going to do this right, but I'm going to try. With my quarterstaff.
With a 17, your shillelagh bounces off of the lock.
I was afraid of this. I have an idea. I was hoping not to have to show this to you. Jod goes into his ethereal form, dissolving back into a spirit.
Does my one good eye deceive me?
That's weird. Are sure
You
he's
can
not the
move through
ghost?
creatures and solid objects. Okay. You phase through the door.
Wow.
This small room is awash in the glow of thousands of fireflies. The luminescent insects flit around inside more than a dozen glass terrariums that fill shelves along the walls. A steady plinking noise results from their bouncing off the glass. Shallow wooden boxes are packed on the lowest shelves.
I yell out back through the door. Mushroom Man, go get the Kenku to unlock the door for you.
I can lock it from the other side.
Jod, you cannot say anything. Go ahead and roll me a constitution check if you would like to talk.
No, okay.
With a 4, you fail. So all you did was yell out,
Can you put me in the room? Just so I can see.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Can I get something above a 10?
With a
Like, you think I have a
14,
50-50?
you notice that there are words scratched into the floorboards. In Manic script, the words read, "Finish the rhyme." You remember that when you were looking at the rhyme scratched into the wall as Jod investigated the behind the tapestry, you noticed that there were scratch marks below that bottom verse. You look over and you hear the singing. You look along the east wall and you notice that there's a loose stone. Here, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Eventually it will be above a 10.
You cannot figure out how to pull the loose stone out.
That's fine.
You can't find the seams for it. You notice that the singing is coming behind that wall.
Okay. Jad moves quickly with this newfound information I have. I believe it's a minute. Yes, for 1 minute. I move back through the door, back to the tapestry, and rip it off of the wall to read the rest of the rhyme.
You look at the wall, and it's the exact same thing that you saw before. The rhyme has not changed.
I float like a ghost as quickly as I can over to the Kenku.
The Kenku... the Kenku senses a ghostly spirit floating behind her.
I do not mean to cause you fear, but I need the key to the Firefly room. Stat.
Go ahead and roll a Constitution check for me.
Oh yeah, trying to speak.
With a 22, you can finally speak.
Thank God.
Crinkle hands you a key. She makes the sound, she looks at you and mimics the sound of a lock opening with her mouth and hands you the key. And then she goes back to comforting Galeby.
Mimics the sound of opening a lock.
Because she's a Kenku. Kenkus
She can't
mimic
say words, she can only
sounds.
say sounds.
Ah,
I yelled to my companions, Cade, Wes, Mushroom Man is what I will refer to you as, and only Mushroom Man. Follow me.
careful when you speak.
Jad rushes back over to the door and unlocks it.
All right. The door is now open.
I think we're missing...
I'll pull
with
Cade
my
in.
companions there, I point toward the loose stone, afraid of saying more words.
So you point into the room and the others hear the muffled singing from behind the wall, but they can't tell where it's from.
I walk over and point at the loose stone.
Would anybody like to investigate the wall that Jad is pointing at?
Sure, I'll go ahead.
Yep,
Just
I'm
want me
gonna
to roll a regular roll investigation check.
I was great at it.
Yes, go ahead and roll an investigation check. With a 5, you fail to locate the loose stone. And both of you roll me a constitution check, please.
I look at Jod and I'm just like,
Both of you pass.
I
Casting
don't think we need more light in a room full of fireflies, Cade.
I'm gonna use it on the wall. I'm gonna investigate the wall to try to see what he's pointing at.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
I think we need to remove this.
Let's see if somebody can figure out how to get to the singing. With a 24, also roll me a constitution save.
No.
Please.
Okay.
I want to see if you stop humming. You do! With a nat 20, you stop humming. You can actually speak now. You go ahead and remove the stone. Let's see. All right. The tune continues to tug at each of your minds, willing you to intone its sequence of notes. Notes take on the shapes of words. You are certain you've never heard before, other than when Jad removed the tapestry, what you guys saw on the wall. But now you're hearing them sung inside of your head as clear as day. But the lyrics are somehow familiar to you. Let me go ahead and pull up the rhyme again. Can you guys see it?
mm-hmm.
Yes, I have it up.
All right. We are going to sing it together. Actually, I'll sing it, and then you guys say the chorus, Shemshime, Shemshime, when we get to that point. So it's like a call and answer type of thing. Just say it once. But you hear in your heads, see a mother scything wheat, forgotten husband sleeping near. With one swing she took his feet, with another she took his ear. Does the shadow have a name?
Shemshime.
Shemshime.
Causes grief, avoids the blame.
Shemshime.
Shemshime.
See a dog that knows how to heal, never heeds plea nor command. Mother gave it a tasty meal, dog chose instead to eat her hand. Does the shadow have a name?
Shemshime.
Shemshime.
Causes grief, avoids the blame.
Shemshime.
Shemshime.
See a son doing his chore, washing clothes for folk in town. Fell into the river's roar, sank to the bottom and drowned. Does the shadow have a name?
Shemshime.
Causes grief, avoids the blame.
Shemshime.
Shemshime.
Cade, you recall that as you're hearing these words in your head, those 3 verses directly correlate to the pictures that you saw in Galeby's room, with the black cloud floating above each of the scenes. you become aware that the song is not only in your head. Somewhere nearby, a deep and melodic voice is singing. So we
Can you
found
tell where?
the skull. So inside, behind that stone. All right, hold on one second. You peek behind the stone, and inside, Cade, you find a skull that is singing it.
I'm gonna pull out. I don't know. I want to touch it. Hey guys, there's a skull singing in here.
Does anyone know how to silence it?
I could break
No.
it.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Jade, you mentioned pictures before. You said there were clouds above.
Jad, go ahead and roll me a Constitution save. With a 17, you're fine. You were able to speak.
Okay. And Jad, were you asking the skull?
I was asking Cade.
Okay.
Tiberius,
Yeah,
go
no-
ahead and roll me a Constitution save.
Because I asked him that question. Dadgummit.
Gosh darn it, we can't speak without rolling concept.
I'm free to speak.
For a second.
But not yes or no, Cade.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
I have
it's
the
yes.
information.
Tiberius, instead of asking your question, you started singing the rhyme. You no longer hum it. Now you sing the rhyme.
Jod says stop speaking before he's done.
He can't stop singing it.
Okay. Can Jod try and throw one of his side daggers at the skull?
You can. Go ahead and roll for attack on a side dagger.
Just throw it like a normal dagger.
With a 21,
Okay, right.
you destroy the skull. The singing stops, but it does not stop in your head. Tiberius does not stop singing.
Clouds above.
Is there anything inside like the skull, like shattered pieces now?
No, it's just a skull that belonged to a human.
So
Jad-
It's a normal skull now.
the little girl had pictures that kind of all depict this rhyme. Maybe there's more clues in the drawing she drew. But we could ask her how she knew about it.
Feel free to go over and ask her.
Jod, while he does that, Jod rushes over to Ebder, Cthulhu, and Varnir and motions for them to move away from the table.
Sorry, say that again?
Jod rushes over to the three, Cthulhu, Varnir, and Ebder, and motions them away from the table to move.
You notice Varnir looks at you questioningly. Where you going, Cade? You're running back to her room?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move you there. Here really quick while I handle that. So
Tiberius
Jad.
wants to cast a spell.
Okay. Here, hold on one second. Jad, you notice that Varnir runs up to you and asks what you mean, because you notice that Varnir isn't really struggling. She can talk to you fairly normally. So Varnir asks you what you mean, and Cthulhu moves, but you notice that Ebder does not. He is still frozen. He's petrified with fear.
Jod motions over Varnir and points at the book hanging above, chained up.
Varnir looks at you and says, okay, what about the statue?
So, Tiberius goes to cast a spell on Jod, and on Jod and Tiberius, and I cast Bless.
All right, let's check the bless spell real quick.
Level 1.
Go ahead and roll
Destiny
a
3.
Constitution check for me. It does have a vocal component, so you would have
it does.
you would have to speak it. So yeah, go ahead and try a Constitution check.
Okay.
With a 7, you fail. You are unable to cast Bless, but it doesn't waste a spell slot for you, so you're fine there. Jad, you were being prompted to speak by Varnir. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution save again. With a 21, you're good to go.
Jod, as quickly as he can, says, the shadow above the girl's pictures. The only thing I can think of is the book that hangs above.
Varnir looks at you and says, I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's fine.
What pictures?
Clear the table space. Quickly, now.
Okay. And Varnir walks up, and Varnir and Cthulhu begin clearing off the table. They just remove the books, and they set them neatly into a cart on the side.
And I move over and grab Ebder and hoist him over my shoulder and try and move him
Where would you like to move Ebder to?
behind one of the bookshelves, like right here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a strength check. With a 17, you are able to move Ebder. Quite gracefully, I might add. You set Ebder down behind the bookshelf.
I grab Wes and Tiberius's attention, Mushroom Man, and motion toward the chains that hold the book.
Varnir looks at you and says, maybe we shouldn't do anything like that yet. Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
She says, "Yet."
With a 12, you realize that there is nothing, there's no point. There's no,
Maybe it was a delusion.
there's just no point to it.
The shadow. What does it mean, the shadow?
Tiberius moves to the middle of the room near one of the pods that has the fireflies and clumsily swings his staff and hits and breaks the glass.
Go ahead
Or
and
hits
roll
the
me an
glass
attack.
to see. Okay.
With a 20, you destroy the glass, and the fireflies fly away. Crinkle looks over at you and scowls, and you hear her mimic the sound of a car alarm. Whoop, whoop, bear, bear. And you realize that she's scowling with you because she loves those fireflies. And then she goes back to comforting Galeby.
Can I rush over to Galeby and try and speak?
Hold on 1 second. Let's go ahead and before we continue with that, let's go ahead and move down to Cade, who's down in Galeby's room.
Okay.
Yeah. So is she in there?
She is not. She's still up above being comforted by Crinkle because she saw what happened to her father and she's terrified.
Okay. I want to grab all of her like dark drawing pictures and then see if there's anything else like in her like drawing book or her pens or pencils what she uses to color with.
You look around and you see normal toys, normal art supplies, nothing out of the ordinary. You see normal pictures. Those pictures that were described to you earlier, the 3 pictures depicting the 3 scenes from the rhyme, are the only morbid pictures in the room. And you collect them and you bring them with you.
Yeah, so I'll grab those and go back to the room with everyone else.
All right, I'll move you back into that room.
I'll lay them down on the table. She drew these and they match with the rhyme. Somehow she knows what's going on or something is influencing.
As Cade, go ahead and roll me a Constitution check.
Mm-hmm.
With an 18, you do tell the rest of the team that. However, as you finish, the air around you feels thick. It presses in on you from all sides, prickling your nerves. Your muscles twitch as though something is yanking on them with invisible strings. Cade, you turn around to see Crinkle and Galeby running from the room as fast as they can because basically the air around them is oppressive. You see both of them flee as fast as you can, as fast as they can. Everyone, go ahead and roll me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, great.
My
Shouldn't
God.
be a problem.
Is this 0?
Damn, Tiberius. 5.
Get a -5 to that.
Told you.
Wes, you look over and you see Tiberius, Cade, and Jad start immediately singing, and they look as if they're being controlled. You see their eyes open wide with terror as they can realize what is happening to them, that they are being controlled, but they cannot do anything about it. They are trapped within their own bodies. As Jad immediately makes a weapon attack towards Wes. Jad, go ahead and roll me a basic weapon attack.
Dagger.
With a nat 1, you drop your dagger. Wes, go ahead and roll me just roll me an attack roll.
Just any attack roll.
Just a d4.
Okay. I give Jod a little open palm strike to the chest.
Jad takes the open palm strike, and I do not have the API loaded.
For combat tracker.
Yeah.
So we do it old school, right?
Yeah, we are. Here, let me go ahead and pull this up in OneNote.
Hey,
Everybody roll me initiative.
Jod, what's happening, brother?
No. It's my 3rd nat 1 tonight.
Jeez, Cade. +10.
Wes,
Just showing what'll happen next time I DM will be all the D20s I roll.
Dexterous boy.
Yeah, plus alert and other
and then Tiberius is a 3. And then, hold on 1 second for me. Varnier rolls a 19. And then we have Tula rolls a 16. All right, let me get all this squared away. Doing this in OneNote is not ideal. Do not have my note with me. Okay, cool.
In the meantime, after striking Jod, I look about the room and I say, "Show yourself."
You notice that
Who
there
goes
is
there?
no reply. Jod, go ahead and roll me another charisma save. Actually, I apologize. Do not roll that charisma save. All right, let's go ahead and begin with Wes.
Is there anything I can really do to help them snap out of it? Stop singing because they're all bad at it. It's freaking me out a little bit.
Wait, so slapping him in the face did nothing, huh?
It hurt him.
I believe it's a form of possession.
Yeah, I got really nothing.
What were the... Can't say anything. Dang it.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah, I got really nothing to.
Your eyes are wide open in terror. As
Can
again,
Tiberius move?
not yet. We are currently in combat,
And you aren't controlling yourself.
and you're not controlling yourself.
I'm not really gonna. I don't really have anything. I'm just gonna grab Jod by the shoulders and start shaking him and give him light smacks in the face. Stop singing. Fight it. You're stronger than this. And that's gonna just end my turn right there.
As you notice that Jad's eyes are pleading with you, but there's nothing. He continues to move as if he's being controlled. You can tell by his eyes that he is 100% aware of what's going on. Does that end Wes's turn?
I'm not gonna move or anything like that. Just gonna stay where I am.
Okay. We move on to Varnier. If I can actually, there we go. Character sheet. Who is going
Back in 2
to
seconds.
reach out and swat at Jod with her cane. Oh, didn't mean to do that at advantage. Hold on one sec. Fix this. We'll take the first one. What's your AC, Jod?
It hits at 16.
Okay. So roll for damage. So 5. You take 5. Will you go ahead and do that for me?
Mhm.
And because of that, because of multi-attack, she attacks once again for 4 bludgeoning damage. And I apologize, that was 4 before, not 5. It added the 5th one because of the... Or I apologize, it was 1 before. Yeah, so it's 1, so 5 total damage.
Okay.
Let me fix this character sheet really quick. When their character sheets default to always roll advantage.
Yep.
Alright, Whisper Toggle, auto roll damage and crit. Yeah, we'll do Whisper Toggle. Alright, cool.
Who was that attack?
And
against?
that was against Jod. And as Varnier is trapped, we move on to Cthulhu, who disengages and runs away. She wants nothing to do with this situation. We move on to Cade, who is also charmed, who will move towards Cthulhu. Go ahead and make me a weapon attack towards Cthulhu, Cade.
I'm whip at her. Ah, weird.
11 to hit.
Did that hit? I can't see the attack roll.
Oh, well, it was an 11 to hit. I think he's in the same thing where if it hits, he clicks attack.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. With an 11, you hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
I think you just click on dagger in the
Yeah.
chat.
Click on dagger in the chat, the word dagger, and it'll roll the damage for you.
Nice.
It rolled a 0.
So with a 0, you hit, but it does no damage to Cthulhu.
Well, yeah, because it's not rolling. It's not rolling damage
It's rolling 0. Are you trying to do it in the app or on the website?
on the website.
That is really weird. All right, rolling 1d20. Okay.
How is his character sheet broken?
I don't know. Here, let me go ahead and try and roll it for you.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's just...
Oh, there it goes. Oh.
Oh, no, I just lost
Why?
all of my notes because I accidentally went back. Oh,
Been there.
no.
Been there.
You're supposed to pretend like that was supposed to happen.
I know, right?
6 damage.
It's loading.
Yeah.
So you did 6 damage? Okay. Let me pull up these events, the ones that I need, since we've already worked through quite a bit of it already. All right, you do 6 damage to Cthulhu. Go ahead and roll me a charisma save.
Yep.
With a 4, you do not save. All right. And we move on to Jod. Jod, go ahead and roll me another attack roll towards Wes.
Come on, Judd.
With a 20,
That would do nothing. Damn it, can that be my one for tonight?
yes, that can be your one.
Thank you.
Wes, go ahead and remove the 6 damage from you. And then Jad, go ahead and roll me a charisma save.
I burned it on the attack roll. Got it.
All right. Do not PTK. All right.
West, if I kill you,
You are
it's nothing
still
personal.
charmed. Let's go ahead and move down to Tiberius. Tiberius, go ahead and roll me an attack roll towards Varnir.
Okay.
With a 13, you do not hit. Go ahead and roll me a charisma save.
Oh yeah. Not good.
Holy cow!
Yikes.
All right, with a -3, you were definitely still charmed. All right, and we go back to the top of the initiative order, and we move to Wes. What would you like to do, Wes?
Die by a so-called
Let's
friend.
see. I'm gonna go ahead, and I can see Cade, right? Just fine, even though the
No.
shelves are.
No, you have a bookshelf between you two. You can't do anything to Cade.
I'm gonna go ahead and get the hell away from Jod, and I'm gonna go over toward what's her name?
Are you going to disengage?
No.
No. Jod gets an attack of opportunity at you as you move away. And I will roll for Jod. He attacked with a dagger last time. What's your AC?
14.
Okay, he misses.
I'm gonna look at Cade and I'm gonna tell him that's enough, my friend, and I'm gonna try to hold him so that he doesn't attack. What's her name?
Cthulhu?
Cthulhu.
Concentration after 1 minute. Choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. At the end of its turn, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. Spell save 14. Cade, roll me a wisdom save.
Decided to fail.
You decide to fail. I choose to fail.
I extend my hand and I say, "Stop, Cade," and I hold him.
Unfortunately, Cade, you cannot choose to fail as you are being controlled.
Well, I'm telling the dice I choose to fail.
With a
Oh my
20,
God.
you save.
Jen, listen.
Does that end Wes's turn?
Yeah, that's all I can do, unfortunately.
All right. We move down to Varnir. Pull up that character
Just tell
sheet
Cthulhu
again.
to run.
Get out of
We should all run. We can run.
Varnir is going to strike out at Jad again, doing 6 damage to Jad
You get him.
Couldn't work.
with her cane. Do you have your... Yeah, can you remove that damage for me?
Oh, I did.
Okay, cool. All right, we move over to Cthulhu, who is engaged with Cade, who disengages and runs away again. We move forward to Cade, who quickly takes off in pursuit of Cthulhu, his intended target, with almost an obsessed zeal. But his eyes again are wide open with terror as he realizes that he is being controlled and can do nothing about it. Cade, go ahead and roll me an attack roll towards Cthulhu.
Thanks, man.
With a 12, you hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 3? Okay. What was the last one?
It was 3, so 6 total. So it's 7.
Okay. As you notice that Cthulhu is you're starting to see the effects of your attacks on Cthulhu. Go ahead and roll a charisma save for me.
I want to be a hero, not a bad guy.
No, right? You shall be remembered well. With a nat 1, you were definitely still charmed. All right. We move over to Jad. Jad, go ahead and roll me. Or actually, Jad is going to take off in pursuit of Wes, which will give Varnir an attack of opportunity.
That missed.
That missed? Okay. All right. Jad, go ahead and roll an attack roll towards Wes. Does that connect, Wes?
No, 14.
All right. You swing wide. Jad, go ahead and roll me a charisma save as well. With a 12, you do not save. You were still charmed.
Oh my
All right.
God.
And you were still singing the rhyme as you were swinging at Wes. We move down to Tiberius. Tiberius, go ahead and roll me an attack roll towards Varnir.
Oops. Oh, there's my attack roll, but I didn't have Varnir
With a
selected.
7, you miss. Go ahead and roll me a charisma save.
Sure. Let me go ahead and click on that charisma save. Hold on, my mouse is acting up. Come on, it's a laptop mouse, really? Oh, fantastic.
Me too, man.
With a 4, you do not save. We move back to Wes at the top of the order.
I need to speak.
Well, you are. You're just speaking a rhyme.
I know. Nobody can hear me. But I can't cast a spell. I need to cast a spell.
Question: if I cast this, I can see past it, right?
Do you have double sight?
Mm-hmm. You would need Devil's
Okay.
Sight to see through magical darkness.
All right, never mind. Let's see.
I know that because Bobby and I love to play Warlocks with Devil's Sight and attack Shadow Dragons. Well, I like to. Bobby likes to throw Shadow Dragons at me.
The shadow dragon can see. Just saying.
Can I cast that on mice?
Touch a creature you touch. A creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing, carrying is visible. Then the target's person. Spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution save. You pass a Constitution save. Yes, you can cast invisibility on yourself.
All right, I will do that.
All right. You are invisible for up to 1 hour.
Am I able to get away from Jod without provoking an opportunity attack, or at least
Yes, because you're
at
invisible.
disadvantage?
Yeah, because you're invisible. He can't see you. You just disappeared right in front of him.
And that'll just end my turn.
All right. We move down to Varnir, who engages with Tiberius,
Bring it. Give it all you got.
swinging with her cane. With a nat 20. In a 20, she does 11 damage. I will go ahead and remove that for you. There we go. Tiberius, as you feel the damage, you notice that you're starting to... It was a little bit of damage. You're kind of doubling over in pain a little bit, but you still cannot control your body.
And I grit out, see a dog that knows how to heal. Never heeds pleads nor command.
We
And what do I do
move,
next?
we move to Cthulhu, who just notices that Cade is chasing her. So she turns around. She's going to go ahead and attack back using...
No, don't attack me, man.
Let's go with a quarterstaff. With a 10. Cade, what's your AC?
My AC is 5,000, but it's actually 15.
Okay. She misses. Let me change this over to advantage toggle and whisper toggle. Auto roll damage and crit. That character's fixed. That's the end of Cthulhu's turn. We move over to Cade, who is charmed. Go ahead and make an attack roll towards Cthulhu. As you maddeningly sing the song, swinging your dagger into Cthulhu, you notice that Cthulhu is starting to look a little worse for the wear. Go ahead and roll me a charisma save.
I'm so sorry.
With a 10, you are still charmed. We move over to Jod. Jod, who no longer has sight of Wes, remembers
Where am I going?
that Varnir was up above and was attacking him. Go ahead and make an attack roll towards Varnir for me. With a 17, you hit, dealing 6 damage. You notice that Varnir is looking... That one hit doubled Varnir over, and Varnir is now down on one knee. His blood is falling from Varnir's back. Go ahead and roll a charisma save. With a 20, you save. You are no longer charmed, and you can stop singing.
Did I use all of my movement?
Let me see. Well, this is technically, that's the end of your turn.
Oh, gotcha.
You end your
Never
turn
mind.
with the charisma save. Yeah. So we're good to go there. Tiberius, go ahead and make an attack roll towards Varnir. With a 15, you hit as you see Varnir fall to the ground unconscious and bloody. Go ahead and roll a charisma save. With a 7, you were still maddeningly singing the rhyme.
Forgotten husband sleeping near with one swing. She took her feet.
We move back to the top of the order with Wes, who is currently invisible.
I'm just going to...
Here, really quick, Wes, before you make your move. It is 9:30 right now. We only had scheduled from 7:30 to 9:30 tonight.
Mhm.
Do you guys want to keep going, or there is?
good.
We're gonna end up having to do this another night anyway.
Okay.
I gotta
calling it
hop
here.
off. Yeah, let's call it here.
This is not looking good.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm no longer charmed.
I
We
know.
have had one player break their charm so far. It just took a really high charisma save.
None of this podcast can fix silence.
And with my mushroom eye patch, my charisma at -5, I'm gonna have to roll a nat 20 to get out.
Hey, there's a 5% chance of that. You've bet on less. Let's be real.
So
Is
I
a
wanted to.
is a charisma
wanted to
saving throw
shoot
the
you.
only way to end the spell? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, is that you're not giving me much of an option because
Well,
you're like,
you can't. because
hurt somebody.
you're technically charmed. You're being controlled like a puppet. So yeah, narratively speaking, unfortunately, with your charisma being your dump stat.
A dump of a dump of a dump stat.
Telling you
Yeah.
right now that the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn myself into a firefly so I can't hear anything and I'm too dumb to know of any magical spells to make me sing. Can't do anything else. You can't charm me. If you charm this firefly, you got to charm all the rest of them.
All right,
In
everyone.
this tower.
We'll go ahead and call it for tonight, and we will be continuing this for a third night. So, as we remember last time we left off with our heroes, we had Cade and Tiberius are still charmed by the singing curse. So they're still singing while swinging at their companions. We left off with Tiberius knocking Varnir unconscious. Cade is chasing down Cthulhu. Wes is invisible. And Jod had just broken his curse. Let's go ahead and return to the top of the order as we have Wes, who's invisible, towards the bottom of the room. How would you like to proceed, sir?
I'm on the landing page right now.
Oh,
Yes, so am I.
apologies. Go ahead.
Together.
Sorry. Oh my god. Now our heroes have returned to the Firefly Cellar.
Let's see.
There's Jad.
Let's see. So we've got Cade right here, right?
Yeah, that's Cade just to the north of you.
Let's go ahead and move 3. Or can I move right here or no? Is that technically on like a bookshelf?
No.
Difficult terrain.
Yeah,
or
you'd
anything like that?
be kind of in a bookshelf at that point.
How tall are the bookshelves? Like 10 feet, right?
Let me check. I do not remember, actually. All right, let's see. F2 the stacks. The musty smell of old books hangs in the air, blah, blah, blah. All right. The bookcases, which look to be extremely heavy, are roughly 10 feet tall. 2 of them have attached rolling ladders. They're 10
Can
feet tall.
I? So this from right here is 20 feet of movement. Can I jump onto the ladder while invisible? Basically, I want to try to grapple Cade, try to stop him from hurting Homegirl any further. Is there a way? Can I jump onto the ladder, kind of swing, and kind of try to pin him down?
Go ahead and roll me a dex check.
Just normally?
I like what you're throwing down. So let's try it with a dex check. Yeah, just normally. Actually, you know what? Do it at advantage since you're invisible.
Okay. Do you want me to do a saving throw or acrobatics?
Acrobatics.
That's
All right, so a nat 20. You are able to dance around Cthulhu, jump up onto the ladder, and you are positioned above Cade.
And I would like to try to subdue Cade. Since he's facing Cthulhu, I guess I'll just go ahead and pounce on him.
All right.
Try to pin him down.
All right, let's check.
Off the
grappling.
top rope. Jeff Hardy style.
Gosh darn it. Of course grappling doesn't come. I'll call on the other DM. How does grappling work in 5? I can't remember.
I think.
Hold on, I got a
Strength or athletics?
Yeah, I think it's a.
strength check
Yeah,
versus strength
basically,
check.
yeah, athletics. Yeah.
Okay. So
Or you could argue a dex check against the person being grappled if they're more dexterous.
Okay. So I will say that because Wes is he's invisible and he's positioned above Cade, I would say go ahead and roll a strength check with advantage, Wes. And then Cade, just roll either, let's see,
Damn.
just roll either strength or dex normally.
Never hoped for a nat 1 before.
Like a saving throw?
Yeah, a saving throw.
Wait, let's try it again. Oh, that's right.
All right, with a 17, Cade You kind of shrug Wes off as he jumps down on you. Wes, you tumble to the ground.
So since I'm invisible and he's not really aware, wouldn't he, I guess since I'm rolling at advantage, wouldn't he roll at disadvantage?
So I also have an alert, so I can never be surprised.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
For this
It's a good
one, would that have broken your invisibility, Wes?
Let's see. I think I need to use something that requires the same components. Let's take a look. Spell ends for a target that attacks. I guess you could.
I would call
that
a
an
grapple
attack?
with this one. I would say that ends your invisibility.
Okay.
So I will go ahead and put you right here. Because Cade kind of shrugged you off, so I would say you jump past him. So you're in the next square right behind Cade. And that's your action.
Oh yeah, we're doing old school.
Yeah, I would say that's your action and max movement. It's gone at this point.
Okay.
So the only thing that you have left at your disposal would be a bonus action.
I really have a thing that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and end my turn right there.
All right. We'll go ahead.
I will call out to Cade though.
We'll go ahead and skip Varnir as we move down to Cthulhu, who is going to disengage and run for her life. And we will go ahead and move down to Cade. Cade Lightfoot, it is your turn. Go ahead. As your intended target, Cthulhu, had disengaged and ran away, you now start to turn towards Wes, who had just tried to grapple you. Go ahead and roll me a normal weapon attack. With your whip, you do 5 damage.
Was that to me?
That is to Wes. Do you have any reaction or anything?
Can I do it with like the look of sadness on my face?
Yes, as you
Okay.
as you describe your face as you keep continuing to sing the rhyme.
So it's just really sad, like because I feel like I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I have no control over it. So
You do. You are fully aware that you should not be attacking your friend as you look saddened and a tear drops down your eye.
yeah, like I almost imagine it's kind of like I'm smiling because I'm being controlled and I'm humming the rhyme, but then like my eyes show remorse for what I'm doing.
And with that, you feel yourself as you continuously try to fight against the curse. You feel it might be a little bit easier this time to try and resist. Go ahead and roll me a charisma save.
Charisma save.
With a 10, you do not break.
Ah,
All right, we go ahead
Sorry,
and move
buddy.
down to Jad. Jad, who is standing behind Varnir.
Yes, you said Varnir just went unconscious from Tiberius.
Correct. Varnir is unconscious.
I don't remember how large of a person is Varnir?
Varnir's an elf, so not that large. Pretty slight.
Okay. As a larger stature individual, would you say I'd be able to just swoop her up and throw her over my shoulder?
Go ahead and roll me a strength check. With a 20, you would.
Okay. I'm going to grab Varnir, throw her over my shoulder, and as an action, do something I can do once a day. And that is cast invisibility.
Touch becomes invisible. So are you casting it on yourself or Varnir?
Myself.
Okay, so you are invisible, Varnir is not. So they
Am I
just see Varnir floating.
But I'm carrying Varnir, am I not?
It would, but true. Yeah, we'll go ahead and so Varnir, we'll go ahead and call you guys invisible. And you can move because of the burden that you have with Varnir over your shoulder, because Varnir's an elf. We'll go ahead and say you have 2/3 movement speed at this point.
Okay. That's fine. So while invisible, I'm going to move 4 spaces, and then with a cunning action, bonus action, dash for an additional 4 spaces, and start making my way to the stairs going down.
All right. Varnir is with you. Was that end your turn?
Yeah, that ends my turn.
All right. We will go ahead and move to Tiberius, who is standing there sort of dumbfounded. Everybody around them had disappeared. we're going to go ahead and move. Tiberius will start shuffling in the direction of Wes and Cade. Tiberius, you feel, after continued struggling to try and break this, that the curse might be a smidge easier to break this time. Go ahead and roll me a charisma check. You're muted, by the way.
Bear with me. My character sheet just disappeared. Bear with me.
Okay.
Where did this go?
Did you double click on it? It turns into like a super faded button if you double click it.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, and double click it again and it'll pop right up.
Why does it keep doing that? Come on, Apple. It's all small. What am I rolling?
Charisma check.
Oh boy.
Charisma save throw. With a 0 charisma save, you do not break the curse.
And that ends the turn.
All right. Take this down. We are introducing a new house mechanic for the Banshee's Wail for those DMs that would like to institute it in their games, which is after 3 rounds of trying to break something like the spell that you guys are under, I'm going to go ahead and ticket 1 lower each time with continued attempts to try and break it. I'm going to ticket 1 down each time. Make life a smidge easier.
So I basically still need to wait 15 turns before I'll be able to do anything. Great.
Potentially. All right, we will go ahead and move back towards the top of the order. Wes, you're still at 1 knee. I would say if you're trying to move or anything like that, it would be at half speed. But you're on 1 knee, and Cade just hit you. What would you like to do?
I will get up for sure, and I'm going to. Where did Cade whip me? By the way,
from.
I'm asking Cade. Cade, where'd you hit me?
I don't know, on your arm, like shoulder.
I'm gonna look at my arm, look at you, look at my arm, look at you, look at my arm, and then look back at you, and that was gonna be kind of mean. Can I make that my 1 for the night?
Yeah, sure, we'll give you that one.
Okay, I'm gonna hit it with Mind Slivers.
That's only 9 damage, right? I'll take 4 instead, though.
All right, go ahead and roll me an intelligence save.
Ooh, I'm a wizard too, so.
With a 9, it hits.
Never said a good one.
And I think that's negative, or that's whatever 1d4 applies to the saving throw if I hit him with Mind Sliver again. Yeah. Do you want me to roll that now or later?
Wait, hold on. Wait, what was that?
He deducts it when he saves, so it would be,
Okay.
he rolls
Later.
it when he saves.
Okay.
We don't have potions, do we? That will be my turn.
All right. We move on to Varnir, who's unconscious and over Jad's shoulder. So we'll go ahead and move down to Cthulhu, who continues making her way off of the floor. Runs down the stairs and out of the library. Right? We'll go ahead and move to Cade. Cade, go ahead and roll me a weapon attack against Wes.
I don't want to. I guess I have to.
Just cry.
Don't even think about
Cry
it.
through it. Just cry through it.
I'm sorry.
Hit me again, dum-dum, see what happens. Oh, damn it. Damn it.
You shouldn't have taunted me. You shouldn't have taunted me.
You needed an 18 and my shield would have just saved my ass.
With a 19, he deals 7 damage to Wes. Go ahead and roll me a charisma saving throw. Cade. With an 18, you save. You are no longer charmed. You now look down.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry.
Tears streaming down your face. You apologize endlessly as we move
I'm sorry.
Just wipe your face and get it together.
Okay.
Mucus coming out of your nostrils.
As we move over to Jad.
Jad is going to go down the stairs.
Okay. Let me zoom out and move you. Move you over here really quick. Don't see anything.
Anything.
You were back down on the bottom floor with Varnir.
Okay. So, how many squares would you say it took me to move down the stairs?
We'll say that
How
that
many feet?
was couple of floors. We'll call that your full movement speed. If you
Okay.
don't dash.
I was gonna say then I'm going to cunning action, the bonus action dash, to move further away, over here with Varnier.
Okay.
And I'm going to set her down against the wall, and try and patch her wounds.
Go ahead and roll me a medicine check.
Make sure she doesn't die.
With a 22, you stabilize. Varnier is stabilized.
Perfect.
All right.
That'll end Jod's turn. I'm just trying to keep people alive at this point.
Appreciate that. All right. We'll go ahead and move on to Tiberius, who will move 1, 2, as you lumber, singing the rhyme. Go ahead and take a weapon swing at Wes.
What?
I was gonna die.
All right, hold on.
It's just gang up on
keep
Wes.
teaching you this lesson, old man.
Yeah, I keep losing my character sheet. How did that go?
I already beat him up. Roll low.
Okay.
He's a squishy wizard.
Roll like you rolled the charisma saves. Hey.
Oh.
It bounces off to the side. Go ahead and roll me a charisma save. With a 6, you were still
Jesus.
cursed.
I'll go back on mute.
So you can cuss out the DM on mute.
He's the one that's like, you know what? Dump charisma all the way.
Let's go ahead and return to the top of the order with Wes, who is still knelt down, taking a knee.
Oh, I said I stood up.
Oh, you stood up. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's really just Elliot who's charmed, right? Or one other person's charmed, right?
Tiberius is the only party member that's charmed. It's him versus all of you.
Unless we restrain him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to restrain him. Actually,
All right, go ahead and roll me an athletics check. And Tiberius, I will say it's your choice whether you would like to roll an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Let me see. I am going to do
damn,
a
I fumbled.
athletics check, and I just know that this is going to be horrible. But let's
This
just
is nat 20.
Mhm.
yeah. Here we
That's
go.
his one nat
This
20.
is one good roll.
With a nat
You
20.
gotta be kidding me.
Gross.
The nat 20 he's
The
been
law of
needing
average.
for 2 days. He wrestles you off of him and wrestles you down. He has grappled you. You have returned back to one knee. In your game of mercy, you have locked hands with him, trying to stop him, and he has driven you down to one knee.
Kate, help. You
As
can make it
just start
right.
singing into your ear.
Serenading me.
You are down on a knee. You have used your action. The only thing that you have left is half of your movement and a bonus action.
Guess I'll just kind of move around him so Kate can.
Well, you're down on a knee.
All
He
right.
said I had half my movement, so I'm just going to kind of shift his.
He does one of those things where he walks on his knees like a breakdancer to the back of Tiberius.
Yeah, sliding on my knees
Like a duck walk.
a little bit.
No, it's one of those things where breakdancers spin. They're like on their knees, but they start spinning. We'll have to share a meme.
That'll end my turn.
All right, good to go. We'll go ahead and move over to Varnier, who's stabilized. Tula, who is out of the battle and has ran up to the top floor. All right. We'll go ahead and move on down to Cade, who is no longer singing the rhyme.
Is Varnier that's still attacking?
Sorry, say again?
Who's still attacking or who's still singing the rhyme?
Tiberius.
Tiberius,
you
all
see
right.
as he has a crazed look in his eye that's full of terror and he can't stop singing.
the healer that has no charisma.
I'm going to attempt to levitate him.
He's vertical up to 20 feet and remains suspended there for The duration. The spell can levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds. An unwilling creature that succeeds on it. All right. Go ahead and roll a Constitution save, Tiberius.
Oh my god.
With
That's
a
what they
nat
are.
20, he succeeds. You do not levitate Tiberius.
He's hanging on to Wes, not going anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Can't take
I
both
feel-
of them.
I feel like
Burn that spell
I'm the
slot.
I'm the fungus from Mario Brothers. You're just everywhere. Can't escape it.
That's where I know
Yeah.
you from. You were that guy in Last of Us.
All
Really
right.
Yeah.
affecting people.
Well, let me see here. I think I have one thing I can do.
Oh, don't worry. I'll roll a nat 20 and negate it. So go ahead and try.
Just not on that
All right.
charisma save to end the spell.
And then it'll go to my turn on a charisma check, and I will roll a -5.
2 questions here for you.
Mm-hmm.
How tall are the bookcases, and how much room is above the bookcase?
10 feet. And I would say, with it being castle, you're about 20 feet up to the next level. So you've got about 30 feet of play between floors.
Awesome. I'm gonna use my rabbit hop
All right.
and jump up on top of the bookcase, and then get like right here. Yeah, right there.
All
And,
right.
That's it for me.
Cool. You were poised on the bookcase about 10 feet above Tiberius, about 4 feet above his head.
Bunny man.
We'll go ahead and move on down to Jad, who is on the bottom floor, had just stabilized Varnir. You have your full movement speed again.
Well, with Varnir there, just going to drag her over to this room
Okay.
using, I assume since it'll probably take half movement, using my cunning action dash to get there.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and say using your dash and your normal move and your movement, you're there.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to action dash,
All right.
begin moving down the hall, seeing if I can find the little girl. Is there a door at the end of this hallway?
There is. It is closed.
I'm going to walk up to the door and knock on it.
You hear the sound of a buzzer going off from the other side of the door.
Ah, Gilby, it is me, Jad. It's safe out here right now. I'll be coming in, the room, and I'll end my turn there.
All that you hear in response is sobbing, and the door it's not opening. All right.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and move. Jad's turn. We'll go ahead and move to Tiberius. Tiberius, go ahead and make a weapon attack against Wes.
I'll be right back.
With an 18,
Shield.
the shield deflects your 1 damage. Saving that for that 1 damage attack roll against
Just
him.
in case. Just in case.
The shield, you see your whip bounce off of the, or not your whip, but your attack, your quarterstaff bounce off of a blue, like transparent force field around Wes.
Damage me.
Go ahead and roll a charisma saving throw. With a 7,
Oh, that's right.
you do not end the curse. We will go ahead and begin the attack order again with Wes.
Would it be a free action to try to free myself?
You're no longer grappled. He was just...
Oh, I'm no longer grappled.
Yeah, you're not grappled. He took a swing at you.
That hurt, buddy. Mind slip.
All right. Go ahead and roll an intelligence save. And Jake, go ahead and roll me a d4. So Elliot, roll an intelligence save, and we'll subtract 2 from it. With a 9, you do not save.
And let me see the shield until
Taking 4.
the start of my next turn. So is it still going? Did it end as I began my turn this round, or will it end next round?
What's that?
My shield.
Your shield it was only up for that reaction.
Okay.
So your shield, Yeah, it's one reaction, so it's only for that one attack. It's no
Yeah,
longer.
okay. That's
Doesn't it last until the end of your next turn?
Oh wait, let me check.
Yeah.
Until the start of your next turn. So
Yeah, start of your next turn.
let's see. Since you started your turn right after Tiberius attacked you, it no longer is in effect. Because this would be your subsequent next turn after that reaction. It just so happened that it lined up that way.
Let's see. On my turn, let's see. Oh no, I can't do this. Let me go ahead and let me take a look at the sorcery table real quick. Let's go ahead and use 3 sorcery points to restore a level 2 spell slot.
All right.
And that'll end my turn. I'll just hang out where I'm at right now.
All right. So we move down to Varnir, who's knocked out. Tool is out of the fight. So we move on to Cade Lightfoot, who is poised on the bookshelf just above Tiberius.
So I don't want to attack Tiberius. I still kind of want to help him. I'm going to try a spell here real quick. Nope, that's not any good. All right, I'm just going to drop another level 3 spell slot and try to levitate him for a second time.
All right. Go ahead and roll an intelligence save, right?
Constitution.
Constitution. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw. With a 12, you do not succeed. You are levitating 20 feet in the air. Which way would you like him to levitate?
Just straight up.
Straight up.
I'm going to send him straight up and just hold him there until he comes to his senses.
All right. Tiberius is now 20 feet in the air. Does that end your turn?
Yep, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to hold him there and try to... I'll be talking to him like, all right, come on, man. You can fight this. You can fight this. Get it out of your head.
We've gone from investigating what's going on to just control the mushroom.
Pretty much.
Basically.
What mushrooms will do to you.
All right. Kate, does that end your turn?
Yeah, that ends my turn.
All right. We move on to Jad.
Jad calmly says through the door, Galeby, please let me in the room. I'm here to help. Is everything okay? Is anyone hurt?
All you hear is sobbing and an alarm sound from the other end of the door. It is not budging. They're not allowing you in the room. They're terrified.
Okay. I'm not getting anywhere through there. I'm going to walk through here. There's a door to the north of me. Have not checked yet since we've been down here, just to see what's in there. Can I open that door?
That door is locked. Actually, you know what? Here, it is not. Go ahead and change over to the lighting. Oh.
And I quickly just glance around the room.
This sparse bedroom is tidy, apart from a clay bowl containing the remnants of a particularly vinegary meal on a large trunk.
I take the plates off of the trunk and put them onto the floor and open the trunk.
You open the trunk, and all that you see is a set of avowed robes and a heavy wool coat. You also look around the room. There's a bed, a small table with a rickety chair, and a mirror hanging above a wash basin. A round woven green rug with gray fringe covers the floor. That's it. There's...
Okay.
For the chest. So you've seen what's in the room, and
Yeah. Then, after that, finding nothing in the trunk, I step back out into the hallway, which ends my turn.
All right. We go ahead and move on to Tiberius. Let me take a look and see Tiberius's character sheet.
Bruce is just carrying darts. Start throwing.
All right. You look down at Wes. Check this again. All right.
Use your weapon.
Go ahead. This is going to get really, really interesting. Tiberius, go ahead and roll infestation towards Wes.
I knew it. Oh, you guys are, it's game over.
Excuse me.
I'm like, why is it not rolling?
Did you click on infestation, on the word infestation?
Hold on. I need to go back to, should be right here. Oh, yes, perfect.
Wes, go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw. With a 21, you
Nice.
save.
Save.
Tiberius, go ahead and roll your charisma save for me.
Hey!
Hey, he ends he ends the curse. All right.
But the problem is that I did a spell before that I was forced to do. So do I get to cast a spell now, or am I done?
It's at the end of your turn.
Oh, that
you
was
do
it.
those.
That's the end of your
That's
turn.
it.
You were completely all right. We're done. Combat has ended. Now that everybody has returned back to normal, you no longer feel the pressure to continue singing. Go ahead, Suaka.
I will
Okay.
gently let Tiberius down onto the ground.
So can I just go ahead and start like healing people, or no?
Here. Let's go ahead.
Is it freedom?
Jad, you
To
go
do-
ahead. I'm going to return you. Hold on. I'm going to return you back
Let's
to.
Could I try and pick the lock? Oh.
Hold on. Jad, you return to your companions. You all start checking each other, make sure that everybody's okay.
The others are safe downstairs.
As everyone comes to their senses, you notice Galeby appears in the doorway, blood spattered on her face and down the front of her clothes. She's
I
shaking
retract that statement.
with wide eyes and holding a large square book that has blood on the corner of the metal spine. She looks at you, shaking, saying, I had to stop her.
Who did you have to stop?
Crinkle lunged at me. I had to stop her. And the only thing that I could find was this.
I'm gonna go up, slowly remove the book from her hand, take her hand. It's okay. We all did things we're not proud of. You weren't under control. She wasn't under control. It's okay. You had to defend yourself.
She had this crazed look in her eyes, and she was mouthing something, but it looked to be the same rhyme that you guys were saying, but she couldn't say anything. You look down at the book and you see she was holding Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme.
I'm gonna grab the book and throw it like on this table right here.
Let's get you cleaned up, child.
And while they're tending to Galeby, I'm going to, I believe, wasn't Ebder lying on the ground over here? Going
Yes.
to go over here and to check on him, see if he's awake.
Ebder is still out cold.
Can I try and wake him up?
There's nothing that you can do. He was terrified. You can try all you want. He does not react.
Yeah, then I just lay him back on the ground. Good night, sweet prince, and walk away.
Second. And Suwaki,
Yeah.
really quickly, the book that you were holding in your hands
Mm-hmm.
was that.
Okay, to flip to the last page.
All right, I'm gonna lay the book down, and that writing on the front, it says Shemshime's Funtime Rhymes.
Yes.
Bedtime Rhymes.
Yes. The writing on the front says Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme. You notice that the spine is damaged. The metal spine is damaged and has blood on the corner of it.
Can I do like some kind of a investigation on it to see like what kind of magic it is, or if it's like a binding spell, or what's going on with the book exactly?
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Straight intelligence.
Yep. It's a straight intelligence check.
Like a check or a save throw?
Check.
It's like Arcana. Investigation.
With a 6, you can't tell what the problem is, but you do notice that you can open the book.
Okay. Yeah, I will. With my whip in one hand, my other hand, I will open the book.
All right. You go ahead and you set the book on the table. You open it. Grab this art. Oh,
I don't
Hey.
feel good about this.
Go to the last page. We must see the last
you notice that it's not a normal book. It's a pop-up book.
rhyme. Uh-oh.
You notice
Okay. Shemshime, the dog bit the hand. There's Shemshime.
you notice the 3 verses All right, but you notice that it's a pop-up book, and as you open it, it starts playing music, which happens to be what you've heard in your head this entire time. You hear it reciting the rhyme. As you get towards the end, towards what you've seen so far written on the wall, you notice it skips and starts back over, as if there is something left, but it's broken and you can't quite figure out what the issue is.
You're good with fixing things? I'll say it really loudly to everybody.
You've got
Would
the dog biting
you-
the hand, the husband losing the feet, the
Anyone know mending?
I do have mending, actually. Would mending apply to fixing this book?
Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Let's do Arcana, since I'm proficient.
With an 18, it reveals the problem. You notice that the music box is damaged inside of it and needs to be repaired. You can fix it with normal jeweler's tools or tinkerer's tools, which happen to be in the rooms just to the north.
I report to the group my findings and tell them let's head north.
Here, I'll go get the tools and bring them here.
Thank you, John.
I'm going to close the book until he gets back.
I actually apologize. It's the book to the south.
yeah.
John, just kidding.
Okay.
The one to the south is where we were repairing.
You remember,
Yeah, I
to
was
the
like, I guess
south
Ebder might have-
was the bindery. It
Hey,
was-
buddy.
It held
Hey,
the
buddy.
leather bits, wood shavings, and paper scraps that litter the floor near a large workbench. Tools and contraptions are organized neatly around a handful of books in different states of disrepair. So that has the desk and everything that you would need to repair the book.
As I'm walking down toward it, do I see Varney?
Varnier comes stepping up down from the lower level, holding her head, saying, "What happened?
Oh.
Is
Going to
everybody
rush over.
okay?"
Varney, we need you to repair this book quickly.
I'd love to give it a shot, but my head is still killing me right now. I don't think that I could do anything to help. During Wes's intelligence check, he noticed with the tools at his disposal, he would in fact be able to repair the book. He doesn't need any other help.
Okay. Then, with Wes being so confident, I will go get the tools from the bindery and come back to the desk.
As he's doing that, I go to Tiberius and I say, "Hey, buddy, how about a little TLC to these whip lashes?" And I think Jod poked me a little bit.
Certainly. We're gonna do
It's but a flesh wound.
we're gonna throw out level 2 healing spirit. Does that work?
All right, let me check.
You're
Until the
weird.
spell
Oh.
ends, whenever you or a creature you can see moves into the spirit space for the first time, on a turn or starts a turn there, you can use the spirit to restore 1d6 hit points to that creature. No action required. Let's see.
Well, half of those whiplashes are healed.
Well, I was going to say,
This
so...
lasts up to 1 minute, so if you wanted to continue to walk through it, you could.
Well, I think it's if you start your turn as well. So if we're all around the table working on the book...
You could set the
take-
healing spirit right in the middle of the table, essentially.
Yeah.
So go
I
ahead
was
and
just
heal
trying to
back
heal
up to
everybody at
full.
once.
Go ahead.
Come
I
have,
got another spell I can cast. But
come have a
But-
seat
trying to do the
before
most
we
effective.
levitate you again.
Yeah.
Hey, John, let me get those tools, buddy. I hold my
mean,
hand out.
If we do
All
it across 10 turns, that would be 20. If it takes up to a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump
Um,
in a couple times.
do you want me to roll another skill
All
check
right, hold
for
on.
these tools?
All right. So hold on one second, Jake. So, all right. So we've got everybody healed up. So everybody go ahead and heal back to full. Jake, are you ready to go ahead and start repairing the book?
Yes.
All right. So Wes is sitting at the table. Wes, in your head, you hear something. You hear the tune start playing in your head. Go ahead.
Can I tell Galeby to go hide in her father's office?
Yes. Galeby looks at you and says, okay. So Galeby runs. All right. Tiberius will go ahead and move you over to the table as well. Varnier is standing nearby. And Ebder is right there. You start hearing whispering in your head as you begin attempting to repair the book.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll me a dex check. All right. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence saving throw. Perfect, you save. All right, we'll go ahead and start over. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity check. With a 13, fail again. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check. With a 17, you save. You do hear the whispers, but it's not hurting your head. Go ahead and roll me a dex check. With a 7, you do not repair the book. You're trying to... So you've got the cylinder out, and it's the cylinder that has the little tines on the outside of it for the musical notes, just like an automatic piano. That's what you're trying to repair. So you keep slipping as you go to repair the bent pins. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check. With a 15, you save. All right. You go ahead and begin trying to repair the tines again. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity check. Your fingers aren't so nimbly bimbly. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check. With an 18, you save again. Would you like to request help on repairing the tines from any of the other heroes in the room?
No one help. No one help him. He's got this.
No, I'm gonna stay in the game. Actually.
All right. You're focused. You're trying. You're really determined. You're bound and determined.
I'm gonna be like real twitchy when I kind of do it, but staying in it.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity check again. With a 16, you get the first tine in place. You straighten it out with the tools. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
There it is.
With a fail, you notice that you have a sharpening pain in your head as you hear the whispers pierce through your brain.
You okay there, Wes?
I'll be fine.
As you notice, the pain was more than just in your head.
Whoa. Jesus, I'm not okay.
You have your head in both hands. You shake it off as you start to bleed from your nose. Go ahead.
Would you like to switch out?
No. I'm staying in it. Tiberius.
All
I
right.
need a little bit of assistance momentarily.
You go to repair the next pin. Roll a dex check. With a 1, you do not repair it. Roll me an intelligence check as you hear the whispers begin again.
Oh boy.
As you notice the whispers pierce through your mind again, taking. So you notice that, again, this one was not in your head. Not just in your head. Now
Tiberius.
You see blood gushing from your nose. And your eyes are starting to glaze over as you're holding your head in both hands.
So then I cast Healing Word.
I want to go over and touch him.
Yeah, give me Cure Wounds instead.
What's that?
Cure Wounds.
Touch him.
It'll be more.
I don't think I have Cure One, do I?
Cure Wound?
Cure Wound?
Level 1 spell.
Let me check your spells.
I have Spare the Dying.
That might come in handy in a moment.
Bless. Grim Sight,
I have
Find
Bless.
Familiar.
I have Healing Word.
Nope. No Cure
Would
Wounds.
Bless actually apply to my skill checks? Or no, that's on attacks, isn't it?
He's a druid, that's why he doesn't have Cure Wounds.
Yeah.
Check.
No, druids can get Cure Wounds. But he just...
They have to skill into it. Let's see. Bless up to 3
Yeah.
creatures of your choice. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw, you can. It's not a saving throw. So
Yeah.
Bless would not help.
I mean,
you.
the intelligence are.
Yes, the intelligence checks are. They are a saving throw. So Tiberius could bless you.
Let me know if you need to switch out, Wes.
I'm gonna need health more than anything.
All right. So Robert, go ahead and figure out really quick. So the healing spirit was supposed to be out for 1 minute. He began repairing the book. I do not know how long it took to get you guys back up to full health. How many turns did you say it would to get you guys back to full health?
Well, it's 10 turns, which would spread across 20. So it depends if he started as he put that healing spirit out. But I think Wes automatically just put himself to full, so I think we just hung out in the healing spirit and then he started.
Okay. So I would not say that the healing spirit is still up.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and continue forward as such.
I'm gonna cast Find Familiar, and in the form of an octopus.
Okay.
Hey yo.
I'm intrigued.
I am as well, but I...
Why is it not on my thing? It's not here. I have it. Why is it not here?
Let me see.
Did I not load it in?
So you're a druid, so let's see. It's probably not Find Familiar on this character. Dying Shillelagh, Bless, Healing Word, Entangle Earth, Trick Question, Bless, Grim Siphon, Find Familiar. Level 1 spell. Conjuration 1 hour. Let's see.
In your spell list, not your attack spellcasting.
Okay.
So, yes. So you have an octopus.
So when I go and I'm looking at core, and I don't see it on my attacks and spellcasting.
It's in your spell sheet on the spells portion, not on your core portion.
If you go near the top under your name, race, alignment, you can switch from core to spells, and then it gives you a full list of your spells.
Let me close
I've
some
got
of
the
these
full list
spells
here.
for you. Let's see.
So I just click on it though. There it goes.
There you go.
So I was going to use this octopus to
Here,
start
really
working
quick.
on the
How many level 1 spells have you used?
I think I only have. Well, that
You have
was level
4 total.
I haven't. Yeah, but I haven't used any because I was silenced. I used the level
That's true.
2 spell.
Healing spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit. Okay. So
This is my first level 1.
All right. So I'll put you at 3 level 1 slots remaining, and you have 2 level 2 slots remaining to fix your spell slots.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, so throw me an octopus.
Let me see.
You go up the gallery and just type in octopus, and then one will pop up.
That's what I am doing.
I wonder how an octopus would do on these intelligence saves.
That's why octopus are very intelligent and they have a lot of dexterity.
Are they intelligent? Let me see.
Yeah, in fact, they just got they're banning eating them in certain countries because they're intelligent.
I just meant an actual stat block for an octopus. They have an intelligence of 3.
Give them a 5 modifier for intelligence.
Your octopus familiar is out. Where would you like it?
He's right next to the table next to the book.
Here, let me actually go ahead and give you control. Hold by. All right, there you go. You can move your familiar wherever you would like.
Okay, so I'm pretty much going to stay right here, and I'm going to have them throw me the book to the octopus, or push the book to the octopus, and then we're going to start having the octopus work on the next prong.
I will step back and allow the octopus to, start working with the tools and everything.
Never seen a creature like an octopus, so I'm super intrigued.
So the octopus is now ready to do some rolls, I guess.
Trying to
You're letting
figure
an
out
animal
what the
run?
spells are going to look like. All right, it rolls its own initiative. A familiar cannot attack, but it can take other actions as normal.
And I can communicate with it telepathically. So I can tell it what to do.
I'm trying to look at the stat blocks of it
I'm also deaf and blind to my own senses.
while you're looking through its eyes. You don't have to. You don't have to share senses with it.
It also means that I can't hear songs in my head, right?
Your octopus can.
Okay.
Do you attack things as your octopus, which you can't attack?
Exactly.
Also, just because you're deaf doesn't mean you can't hear things in your head.
I was trying to be clever.
It doesn't tell me how much hit points an octopus has.
A familiar, if it gets hit, it disappears.
It's just one hit, but
Yeah.
I get a roll out of this and not have to worry about somebody dying.
What would the dex check be? His dex?
I mean, if we're using it off the octopus, the octopus has a dexterity of 15, so you just roll it and add a 2.
All right. Let's go ahead and roll a d20 dex check.
18.
So with an 18, it repairs the second tongue. What's his intelligence?
It's a negative 4. Or no, negative 5.
Negative 5?
No way.
No, it has to be 2 to get negative 5, so negative 4.
Negative
He's
4,
gonna
okay.
die.
He fixed the time, so you could just do
He
this.
did fix the time, so
He did. With a 4,
And he's dead.
your familiar dies.
So I'm just gonna grab the book and move
As
it
you
over.
heard, hold on. As you heard the screaming come through its head as you were sharing senses with your octopus,
oh no!
it pained you. It did not hurt you physically, but you feel it in your soul. What happened to your octopus?
Okay.
You
Well,
did that.
We've got
All
two.
right,
We've
so
got
the
two
second
prawns
time
fixed.
is
I don't know how
fixed.
many we got left.
All right, so
Anybody else
I'm
wanna-
going.
Would
to take a
anybody
shot.
else like to take over repairing the book?
Yeah, I'll work on repairing the book.
All right, go ahead and roll me a dexterity check. With a 20,
Nice.
you repair the third time, the final time. Roll me an intelligence check.
Oh, nice.
With a 25, you save. You hear the maddening whispers in your head, but they do not damage you. Well, they do. And you take...
They do.
Actually, I forgot to do this to...
Wait, even if you save, you still... Jesus.
The maddening whispers do
That makes sense.
not quite as much damage.
Yeah.
We'll leave that mistake with Wes. Wes did not die, luckily. He benefits from the DM's mistakes. So even though it damaged you, still trying to repair that, you repaired it. Now that the music box is fixed, you finally hear the tune all the way to the end. So you see the first 3 scenes, and the final scene, as you roll through, you hear the final verse. See a daughter grinding grain, wish the spirit's time was through. Trap set for the shadow bane, her millstone killed it true. You see the final scene pop up. There's now a new scene popping up in the pop-up book. You see a dark shadow being crushed underneath a very large, heavy object raining down upon it. So a millstone. But in terms of this, a millstone is a gigantic stone that's super heavy. And into the middle of the room, you see a shadowy figure.
Oh man.
Hold
I
on.
want to whip it.
I think we'd be better off finding the little girl. Where is she?
Wait a second.
I think she's dead.
Grinds.
You notice in the center of the table stands the giant shadowy figure that you had seen being crushed under the large object in the book.
Oh, please give me top of initiative.
Varnier, seeing this, runs terrified from the room. Roll initiative.
Are you going to use combat tracker or have us roll?
I'm going to have you guys roll.
Okay.
I don't have combat tracker loaded in the API.
Can I say something as the thing appears?
Yes.
Break the chains of the book above.
Break the chains of the book above.
Grind under a millstone. Crush it.
All right.
Where is initiative?
It's right next to your armor class, above your hit points on your character sheet. It's in the middle. Near at the top. You just click on the word initiative. It's directly above your hit points.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get. Oh, you know why? Because I'm back on court. Never mind. I see it.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Hey.
Great.
Break all of the
Fantastic.
chains. Crush it with the book.
Let go of the chains.
Because we can see the chains above us, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fire long range attacks at the chains.
Okay. So I look up.
And get out of the way.
I look up at the chains.
Well, I think
Hold
Cade
on.
has...
Hold on. We're Time out. I'm still
We
working
need to do
on
more initiatives.
I
Yeah, good.
am working on getting everybody in order. So,
Okay.
let's see.
All right, I had an idea, and it's not just
Doesn't-
because I've been wanting to drop this book this whole time.
How do we grind the stone?
It's
That
a
one.
stone book above us.
It's true. That's not a millstone.
Just my idea.
We begin the
I want
combat.
to find the little girl. I want to see what she drew.
She hasn't seen this part of the book.
The little
Oh,
girl
drew
drew
something.
the first 3 scenes, roughly.
She didn't draw the fourth one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't draw the 4th one. All right, we start off with Cade.
Yay! Save us, Cade.
So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to initiate my blade song, and then after my blade song starts, I'm going to whip at the figure, but also adding a booming blade to it. So using booming blade with my whip. So I'll roll my whip first to see if I hit.
All right.
And then I'll add on booming blade to that. Just 1d8 thunder.
And let me grab his character sheet. All right. Let's see. You notice that it does hit, but you notice it's not quite as effective. Almost as if he's sort of brushing the attack off.
Okay, attack and the booming blade, or just the...
Both of them.
Okay.
It hits him, but he's not very fazed by it.
Okay. So if it hits, if he moves on his next turn, he takes another d8 worth of damage.
Okay.
And then I will actually jump back and end my turn.
We move to Tiberius, who's next in the turn order.
I'm
21.
going to go ahead and cast Bless
All right.
on all my teammates.
Which 3 do you bless?
Cade, Jod, and Wes. I'm going to exclude myself. And let me go back. Core, there's Bless. One of those things was not there again. Files, Bless, cast it. Oh, I didn't cast it. Why is it not casting?
I'm not sure, but I'm putting it on them.
Okay.
And did you roll for your healing spell on Wes earlier?
How do I thought I hit, I
You did.
hit. Okay, I did.
Which?
Okay.
All right, let me go back and find out.
I didn't see it.
When you said healing word, I could have. Oh wait.
I thought I put a healing spirit up. What do I need to roll for?
That
Oh,
was
no.
earlier. The
I've
healing
just seen
spirit had gone
healings.
away.
You
He
did
didn't,
find
yeah.
familiar instead, remember?
Yeah, he didn't actually heal him. He used find familiar.
Okay.
Healing word is a bonus action, but you can't do 2 spells actually. So.
Okay, so I do that, and then I step.
Really quick,
Yeah.
as you go to cast Bless, go ahead and roll me a Constitution check. As you feel the urge to sing coming over you.
Oh God. Constitution check incoming.
Okay.
With a 15, you save.
Yay! All right, so
Edit the name.
I would like to move just a little bit back here,
Okay.
and that ends my turn.
As we move on to Jad.
Just editing this real quick. I don't actually have an attack for my psychic blade, so I had to make one real quick. So, with them all around and the creature in front of me, I'm going to look up at the chains holding the book, and I'm going to bring out one of my psychic blades in my hand and throw it up at the chain.
All right.
Actually,
Go ahead and roll me an attack.
roll the attack?
Yep.
Okay.
And as you look up, you notice that they're, 30, so they're about 50 feet away from you.
Okay, so it would be at 50 feet, so what's the range on it?
Regardless, you miss.
It is normal range of 60. Oh, that wasn't the roll. That was before on accident.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Psychic blades have 60 feet is normal.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll your attack with a psychic blade. With a 13, you miss. You do not
Okay.
hit the chain.
So I haven't added this one. As a bonus action, I can throw a slightly smaller psychic blade.
All right, go ahead and throw it.
That would just be a regular dagger I'll use for it.
That shows 20 and 60 feet. So-
I haven't made one for the smaller psychic blade yet, but the psychic blades have 60 feet total.
60 feet normal? Because it shows 20 and 60 on the psychic blade for some reason.
Yeah, I haven't edited that yet. I had to put daggers in and start editing them. Yeah, it has a normal range of 60 feet and no long range.
All right. With a 23 to attack, you hit one of the chains, breaking one of the chains. The other two look to be straining under the immense weight of the book. They're not broken, but you notice it dips a little lower.
And I will, staying near him, stay directly in front of the creature and end my turn.
You notice that Shemshime stares directly at you, focused on you.
Bring it on.
He stares at you intently, and you hear whispering in your head, "Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw."
Okay, and then plus the D4 from the bless. I'll
Yes.
do that here. Oh, I didn't do that for the attack roll earlier. Dang it. Oh well.
It wouldn't have saved you.
Well, a D4 up to, yeah, a 17 might not have. That's fine. And then, what's this? Okay.
With a 16, you save.
So I take, 10 damage?
Yes, you only take 10 damage.
Okay.
As we move on to Wes's turn.
All right. Only 2 chains, you said, right?
There are 2 chains left above you, yes.
I'm going to move back about 10 feet. And I'm going to fire magic missiles at level 2. I'm going to direct 2 missiles at each chain. Do you want me to roll it individually, or can I roll all of them, each dart individually?
As you're sitting that far back, you do not have line of sight on them above you. As you notice, pretty much your only real window is right here, right next to the table. You'd have to be looking pretty much straight up because they're 50 feet straight up, and there's only that small opening into the first floor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
you've got to
I'll
be
move
right
back to
underneath
where
of them.
was originally. So now I have sight on it, right?
Yes, now you have sight on it. They're about 50 feet above you.
All right. I will pew, 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 pew.
You said 2 at each?
Yes.
All right. As you hear the chains break, hold on 1 second.
Was Jad's idea a good idea? And am I also going to die?
Let's hope not.
Self-sacrifice.
And the only one that's left alive is Tiberius.
I'm already dead. It's okay.
I can bring you back.
As
no shade.
As you look upon Shemshime, he stares straight up as the very large stone sculpture above him starts crashing down towards him. You notice he teleports out of the way at the last second as the book comes crashing down. He teleports down beside the table, still staring at Jad.
Yeah. Wait, was Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme still on the table?
The book is destroyed. Shemshime is still standing in front of you.
Interesting.
Let's kill it. We gotta kill it.
Wes, is that the end of your turn?
Let's give Jad and Shemshine a little space with my 10 feet of movement.
All right. You move back 10 feet.
That's my turn.
We move back to the beginning of the turn order with Cade.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cast Black Ribbons at Shemshine. I'm gonna cast it like here, so he's like just in the corner of it.
Okay. 20-foot cube. Where did you say you were putting it?
I'm putting it right.
Guys, I'll be right back. My daughter's coming home.
Okay.
Play my turn if I'm not.
Like right here.
Okay. Here, let me do this, see what happens. 20-foot cube.
Okay, so it's only 4 squares.
Should be 4 squares by 4 squares, right, on the cube? So about like that.
Perfect.
All right, cool. So that inside of that
It
box
just
is
says
difficult
20-foot
terrain.
cube, so wouldn't it just be that 20-foot diameter?
Technically, that would be this,
Or
and then
radius.
20 feet straight up would be 20 feet cubed. It's 20 feet X, 20 feet Y, 20 feet Z for 20 foot cubed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right at this point right here.
All right. Cool. So does that box look good?
Yep, that's perfect.
Right. Cool. All right. Does that end your turn?
He's got to make it. Oh, ends his turn.
Yeah, he has to end his turn there.
Yep, that is my turn.
And Milster.
All right. We move on to Tiberius, who is away at the... Did he say to play his turn or wait till he got back?
He said play his turn if he's not back.
I'll let one of you guys decide what the druid does.
By chance, does he know Entangle?
Check. Oh, I'm still on draw.
He's still drawing, yeah.
Yep. Switch. Wow, I drew a bunch of shapes. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. I'm a horrible DM.
You're fine.
All right, let's see. See if he knows Entangle. He does. He knows Entangle. 20-foot square starting from the point within range. For the duration, these plants turn the ground into an area. So,
Pull down on keeping him there.
creature in the area, when you cast a spell, must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. Creature restrained by the plants can use his action to make a strength check. Okay. Right, so we'll just call same area, right?
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
think
roll that normally.
Yeah.
So he rolled a nat 20 on that. So with an 18, he saves. He is not restrained. It stays as difficult terrain for everybody who enters it.
Is
Okay.
it double difficult terrain since there's two things there?
I mean, I've never seen difficult terrain stack.
Same.
Yeah, so we'll
Extremely
just call it
difficult.
extremely difficult terrain. But same
Let's be
movement.
pioneers. Let's be the first ones to do it.
I know, right? And then we'll go
Yeah.
ahead and move Tiberius a little out of the way since he's a healer. All right, and we'll go ahead and move on to Jad.
I gotta stick with this idea. What are the just glancing really quickly? How big are the bookshelves? Again?
Bookshelves. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. We'll call this a free action.
Okay. Just like looking over at it.
With a 14, you notice that
Okay.
those bookshelves look extremely heavy. They're 10 feet tall, and if you give them a good solid shove, they could come toppling over.
Crushed by a grindstone. I'm going to cunning action disengage
Okay.
as a bonus action. 3, 4. Move directly here. And while running, throw my body against this bookshelf.
Go ahead
Behind
and give
Shemshime.
me an athletics check.
Not my best thing, but
With a 6, throwing all of your body weight into it, you notice that it picks up, but it does not quite fall over.
huh.
You need to give it a little bit more oomph.
Well, that will have to end my turn then.
And
Which means I end in the black ribbons.
go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw.
That I'm a bit better at.
You save. Once it cannot be restrained again by these black ribbons, but it's still affected by difficult terrain. So you're not restrained by the black ribbons, but
Cool.
it is difficult terrain. All right. Does that end Jad's turn?
That ends Jad's turn.
You notice, for those of you looking on, as you see Shemshime dissipate, Shemshime reappears next to Jad.
Huh. You're a nimble one.
He looks down at you.
I'm sorry to interrupt. This blue square is the entangle or the black ribbons?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
with a 9, he does not hit. You notice as he is focused on you. And that ends Shemshime's turn. We move on to Wes.
Shemshime. How tall is the table?
The table, it's about waist height. Nothing too crazy. A little bit above.
So I can
Enough
I
for you
can
to sit
jump on it,
comfortably
and it would still be 5 feet of movement.
You would, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just kind of vault onto the table. I probably don't. Do I have sight of Shemshime from right here?
No.
5, 6.
Now you do.
Tiberius, get ready to play medic.
That's fine.
I'm going to go ahead and blast magic missiles at level 2 at Shemshime's back and try to get him to bugger off of West. Or off of, the other dude. Job. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 for level 2. Okay. And that is my last level 2 spell.
You notice
That's all my
four.
movement.
You notice all 4 bolts hit Shemshime. 6, 8, 13 damage.
Doing full damage?
Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Yes. You notice that they land solidly.
Nice. That'll end my turn. That's all my movement stuff.
All right. We'll now move back to the top of the order with Cade.
All right. Well, after seeing that happen, I'm gonna run towards Shemshine's with a lot of movement since I have a bunch of it, and I'm gonna whip him
All right. Go ahead and roll attack.
with a booming blade whip. So here's the attack roll.
With a 19, you hit.
Adding in the booming blade to that.
With a 24, you hit. You notice that it doesn't quite have the oomph that you would like it to.
That's some, right?
It does. It affects him, but it sort of still phases through him a little bit.
All right, and then I will actually just drop concentration on the ribbons.
All right. The ribbons fall away, and we still have the rough terrain down from the entangle.
Mm-hmm. That's my turn.
All right. And we will move on to Tiberius.
Okay. So what did I do on the last turn?
Your last turn, you cast Entangle to try and kind of keep him in the same place. So you cast Entangle on him, but he rolled out of it. So he saved. So it's still rough terrain down, but you can drop the concentration if you wanted to. But yeah,
No,
and
I'm
you
gonna
moved
drop-
kind of back because you were a healer.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna move this line of sight. Sorry, my mouse isn't working great because it's a razor. And I guess it's gonna be like my last cast. We'll just see what happens. I'm gonna cast Earth Tremor, and I'm gonna put it right on top of him.
All right.
And I'm gonna do it as a level 2.
All right. Let's see the spell description. Range 10 feet. You would not be able to reach him.
I wouldn't be. I gotta get in close to him. Oh shoot! I didn't even think about that. Hey, so I guess that's not a good idea. Hold on. All right, I'm casting Grim Siphon.
All right.
30 feet. Am I not close enough? I think I need to be
you
in
are.
range.
Oh,
5,
you're good to
10,
go.
50, 20, 25, 25 feet.
Yeah, no, you're good to go. Go ahead and roll me, because it does have a vocal component. Go ahead and roll me a concentration save.
Oh, great.
Or constitution.
Constitution. Hold on. Hold on. What you got? Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Where did I go? Whee. And Constitution's there. Did I roll?
Yep.
Yes, I did.
With a 7, you're not able to get the spell off.
Good grief.
So, but you didn't waste a spell slot, so. And it was
Okay.
1 damage, so you saved yourself a spell
That's
slot.
pretty much my turn then.
All right, cool.
All right, I'll bring it back.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to Jad.
All right, Jad, sticking with his idea, but he is going to cunning action, disengage,
All right, you disengage.
and that's difficult terrain. Would we say this is, since it's a little more than half the square, enough to run around Shemshime
Let me see. So you've got.
to move to this square?
Yeah, I could say. I'd say you get through him.
Okay,
Yeah, you can kind of skirt around him a little bit.
back up, and as I'm
Here, roll me an
running past.
roll me a dex check. You clumsily get by him. All right.
Okay. And as I get by, I turn and throw a psychic dagger at him. But no one's near him, so no sneak attack. So just plain old psychic dagger.
Go ahead and roll your d4.
Okay. Thank you, bless.
With a 1 on that, you miss.
A 12.
You do not hit him with your psychic blade.
I'm going to run. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then my turn there.
All right. Shemshime is going to look over at Cade and Wes.
Bring it, you scaly bastard.
Cade and Wes, roll me a wisdom saving throw. Cade and Wes,
Oh, we get
also
our
be
blesses,
sure to
right?
roll your blesses. Yes.
You said wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw, yep.
Psychic damage, okay.
Les can't save either of those.
Nope, I'm dead. The average is literally, like, I had 6 HP left.
Neither of you save. Both of you take 7 damage.
Ouch.
Ah.
Wes falls unconscious to the floor. Cade, noticing with a whisper of violence in his head, he is forced to take a weapon swing at Wes as he's collapsing. Go ahead and roll me a weapon attack.
Wow, rude.
No, refuse.
It's with you attacking me, dude. Oh, I'm dead, I can't even talk.
I don't make these choices.
Do not. Don't crit. Okay.
I know, right? Do not nat 20. And your AC is what, a 14, Wes?
Yes.
All right.
Oh.
Cast shield. Oh, I'm playing. I can't even.
With 7 damage, with that attack, you take 1 failure on your saving throws.
Let me add that fail.
All right. And you see Shemshime dissipate and reappear toward Jad. As we move on to Wes's turn. Wes, go ahead and roll your first saving throw. Second saving throw,
Yeah.
technically.
Gross.
Man, I need to spare this man.
With a 7, you take your second failure. All right, we moved back to the top of the order with Cade.
Traitor.
Up to Wes. I'm going to try to stabilize him.
All right. Would you like to stabilize him with a medicine check, or do you have healing spells?
I don't have healing spells, so with the medicine check.
Go ahead and roll a medicine check.
Scary spice.
With a 6, you do not stabilize.
Alright, that's
That doesn't count toward my death save, does it?
It
Or
does
is that
not.
only
No.
my nat ones?
That was a nat 1. That was because it was a nat 1.
At one time.
You suck at medicine.
not my forte.
Who was it that rolled a... I forget who
It
it
was
that-
Jake. Jake medicined Bradley.
Yeah.
And rolled a nat 1, so I had him choke him out with a tourniquet to the neck.
Is this how this works? Oh, damn. I just popped his head off.
Just grab the
Yeah,
pillow
my
and...
ending is suffering.
I'll heal him. I'll heal him. He'll never hurt again.
Never.
I got this.
All right. Cade, that was 5 feet of movement, and you use your action to try and stabilize Wes unsuccessfully. And does that end your turn? Or would you like to continue?
My turn.
All right. All right. We will move on to Tiberius.
Tiberius. All right.
You notice
So
that Wes is fallen in front of you. If Wes fails one more saving throw, he dies permanently.
Permanently?
Yep.
Permanently.
He's all the way dead.
Okay.
Which is hard to do in 5e.
It really is, but
Wes is doing great at it.
Yeah.
somehow Robert's killed a lot of us.
Okay.
You've killed yourself.
But you could use a healing spell and bring him back, which would automatically bring him back. He'd be prone, but he'd be back in the fight. Or you could stabilize him with a medicine check. It's up to you. Or you could stabilize him with Spare the Dying, which would not bring him back into the fight. It just stabilizes him.
My
Okay.
HP would be 0, basically.
You can't spare the dying spam him.
Yeah.
Okay. So
No zombie tanks.
no zombie tanks. Okay. So I mean, I'll just do healing word.
All right, cool. Go ahead and roll a healing word. What level did you want to cast it at?
You're gonna ask me. So I did that one on 2. I think this will be my, because I have 2 left on.
Your
my
spell
level.
slots are accurate on your spell sheet, by the way. There's a little up and down arrow next to them. So if you cast level 2, you can just subtract 1.
So this is gonna be another level 2. That one goes. So I need to take.
So that's 7.
Level 2.
You did 7 healing back to Wes.
We suck
Wes
at
is
healing.
alive.
All right. And then
We'll bring Wes back with 1 hit point.
I appreciate you.
yeah, I'm gonna stay put. And then that's gonna end my turn.
All right.
Go
You know
back
what? We'll
to-
bring him back with 7.
Thank you.
I don't think that we should have to heal all the damage to bring him back. That's just We'll just bring him back with 7 health.
Where's my spell?
Because otherwise, healing
What
is
a-
severely gimped in 5e. Like 2 gimped.
When a Bahir sneaks up behind your healer and
Let's not
expects him-
talk about that. Let's not talk about all the times they'll left a healer alone. Now I make unkillable healers.
Do you though?
All right.
at a challenge.
I've got 1.
That sounds like a challenge.
I've got 2 level 1s left and 1 level 2.
All right.
Who next?
Does that end your turn, Tiberius, or did you want
That
to
ends
move?
my turn.
Okay.
I don't think I dare not do anything else. Do I need to do a Constitution check?
No, we'll just leave that as it is.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and move over to Jad.
My last roll. Yeah, that's a good time to do it. Jad is going to move down to 2, 3, and going to cunning action, disengage, like a rogue always does.
All right.
Move here, and again, while sprinting, throwing my body into the bookshelf to push it over at Shemshime.
Go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
Watch this thing.
With an
Yay.
18, in a last-ditch effort, you throw everything you have into the bookshelf itself as it slowly starts to topple down onto Shemshime.
And he fades away.
He does not move out of the way as the bookshelf
Yeah.
crumbles onto Shemshime. You see his spirit as the bookshelf crashes to the floor. You see his spirit start to dissipate, and it moves into a book, the closest book, slamming shut.
Jad turns toward his party.
You
I'm the little
hear-
girl in the book.
You no longer
A little
hear.
girl.
You no longer hear any of the cues to begin singing. You no longer hear it in your head. You feel that the presence has been dissipated. The evil in the area has been dissipated. You feel a strong sense of relief. As you hear coughing, you see Ebder turn the corner, coughing, stumbling, struggling to stay up. As he doubles over in pain over at the table, coughing, asking what happened, as you see Varnir and Galeby run out to aid him. Galeby crying, hugging her father. Ebder crying, hugging his daughter. Varnir is looking on in solace as she watches the scene unfold before her, as she feels the evil presence leave the area. She looks on to you as you all start to make your way through the bookcases towards the table to see the scene unfolding in front of you. As your hearts are warmed, Varnir looks at you and says, "Thank you. I cannot thank you enough for ridding us of this evil. Please, thank you. Oh my God. We're not going to charge you for any stays. You don't have to stay here if you would like. You can stay anywhere else in Candlekeep. But thank you so much for ridding us of this curse." As you see Varnir run off to go up to the top floor, you hear her put the key in the lock, release it, and she comes back down and looks at you and lets you know that she has let all of the Avowed know in Candlekeep that the curse is over, that you no longer have to be isolated. She has ended the spell on the area. So you guys can now leave if you would like, but she looks at you and says, "Travelers, before you leave, as a thank you, please accept this. As she hands your party one bag of holding. Who would like to take the bag of holding?
I'll snatch it real quick. Just
Damn you.
the quick little rabbit that I am.
Cade Lightfoot snatches the bag of holding. As he starts running towards the entrance playfully, you see Wes chasing him, yelling to come back. As your party makes its way back to the surface, chasing Wes and Cade, after the bag of holding as Cade continues to sprint ahead of your party, the book that Shemshime had appeared back into turns back into Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme. As a new scene is added, Shemshime is floating in the air as Wes is grabbing his throat and reaching up towards the ceiling as he's on his back, as Shemshime is lording over him with his hand raised, killing him. Is the new scene.
Killing me?
Yes, because he killed you. So you're just the new scene in the book. You're not dead,
Oh, okay.
but
I was confused.
there's now a fifth scene in the book, which is him killing you. There is now
So if
also
Tiberius
a
stays
sixth
behind
scene.
and breaks the book again, we can do another scene.
There is also a sixth scene. Jad running, jumping into the side of the shelf with all of his body weight as it's falling down on Shemshime as his spirit starts to fade. As you have now become part of the legend of Candlekeep, Firefly Cellar. You have left your impression on Shemshime and his bedtime rhyme. As this ends, Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme.
Oh,
Good job, guys. That was
it
good.
was a good game.
That was a good one.
I was worthless.